tune into a live stream and it's got that countdown as some weird graphic. I don't know, always seems stale to me. So here's the countdown, ladies and gentlemen. The show's going to start in just a little bit. My name is Tom Bianchi, and this is Live Stream of Consciousness. We're going to cut to the actual screen in just a moment, but this is a little cushion. You know, sometimes you're like, oh, 30 seconds. I don't want to wait 30 seconds. I got to look at that boring countdown, and you're like, what, wasting my time with this 30 seconds thing. And then sometimes you're like, oh, man, 30 seconds. I can go and get my coffee or take a piss or whatever you got to do. Well, this is the 30 seconds. Actually, according to this, I've been on for 38 seconds already. I'll try to wrap it up. Tonight, oh, my goodness, I got schmutz on my shirt. If my mom watches tonight's broadcast, she's going to be so disappointed in me. Oh, sorry, Mom. Tonight's show is going to feature Mr. Eric SCHWARTZ, a singer-songwriter, parody artist, sincere songwriter slash parody artist slash comedian slash man of all trades. He does live streams during the day of just great, wonderful piano music. He's been doing that since COVID. And I have the pleasure of sharing stage with him before COVID every Thursday night at Toad in Cambridge. And I miss him dearly. My conversations with Eric before, during, in between, and after sets at the Toad with the Baker Thomas Band are some of my favorite times of the week, where Eric and I just touch base and we just find ourselves talking about absolutely nothing and laughing our asses off, which is kind of what Live Stream of Consciousness is all about. I'm really looking forward to this. Eric is he's a parody artist. He has sincere, gorgeous music. He's a wonderful songwriter. His compositions are like real songs. I mean, he can write a 4-chord song or 3-chord song or a 2-chord song, even a 1-chord song. But his material also, as you listen to the classic 70s tunes like ballads like Christopher Cross or Eric Carmen, even just these wonderful arrangements that move the listener and they move the music. He's just talented in every which way, and he's also shockingly he can be deadly. No, deadlily. He could be deadly. I'm just fucking making up words. I'm crazy. He could be deadly offensive to many and most. At some point in one of his cutting edge sets, he will probably offend you, but it's the good kind of offend. It's like the comedians like Lenny Bruce or Richard Pryor, where they say the dark things that need to be said, and 80% of the audience might be laughing their asses off, and 20% might be like, this is terrible, I want my money back. But like 30 years later, 20 years later, 10 years later, 50 years later, you realize how spot on he was and how that needed to be said. He's a man who starts revolutions, if you will. I have a lot of admiration and respect for Eric SCHWARTZ. I'm glad he agreed to... Look at my hair. My little hair looks terrible. Oh, man, let me focus on something nicer. I'm going to focus on this nice plant. I'm glad that... Oh, look at my mug. Product placement, baby. Live Stream of Consciousness. That's what it's all about. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hit stop on my little phone video, and we're going to go right to my desk. Please put your hands together at home or do whatever you do with Live Stream of Consciousness type live streaming shows. Put pants on, take them off. Do what you got to do. Hey, kids, it's Eric SCHWARTZ. What's up, man?
Hey,
man. I'm getting the tech side of this thing. It's starting to happen.
It was a beautiful introduction. It's beautiful. What can I say?
The show's over. That's it.
I felt so. I actually went and got a drink. Yeah. I got and wrote it down for my press kit.
Yeah, quote me. You can quote me.
Totally.
I'd be, if I was someone who is quoting you in your press kit, I would be honored, because I have all these bells and whistles now, right? So I have this, I can do this, right? I can do, check it out. And I put your website here. Of all the artists I have, and not to knock any artist at all, because we're all working hard, but like, you have so much stuff on your website and like, say, YouTube channel. I would be honored to be on your channel, because you're always bringing people to the page, because there's always something there to see. Every time I go to your page, I go to your page periodically throughout the year, I find myself there for a half an hour, 45 minutes, like a show, almost like a show's length of of going through your videos
Wow.
and audio stuff.
Yeah, me too. I just sit there and I watch me all day. Make no mistake. If if I do a video with like, somewhere where they have like 50 people all singing a half a verse, I like fast forward it to me. Yeah. Self-involvement. I was thinking of copywriting self-involvement, the actual affliction.
Yeah, well, you'd make $1 billion. Hey, my wife is telling me to tell you to turn up your volume.
Turn up my volume. All right, I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Let's see how that goes. How you doing over there?
Yeah, it's probably much better. My wife, an engineer.
I do want to say something, though. A cool little thing happened, like yesterday. I see that because I see my website. When I see my website, I'm like, I don't put enough on it. I'm a slacker. Yesterday, I got notice that somebody had bought my CD, like a download, from my website, which is amazing enough because I don't have to do anything. They just give you money. And it was a guy named Barrett Hansen. Do you know who Barrett Hansen is?
I don't.
It's Dr. Demento. Dr. Demento bought my CD yesterday.
Now, you have a relationship with him. He knows he could just call you and get a CD.
He could just call me and get a CD. I mean, I'm going to email him and say, dude, here's a link to everything I've ever done or will do.
Right.
By all means, it's all yours. So
crank your volume a little bit more.
Okay, I'm going to crank it a little more. Hey, fly me to the
there you
moon.
go.
How is that going? Yeah.
No, I get it, man. I grew up with Dr. Demento, big time.
Me too. WCOZ, kick-ass rock and roll. But you probably got him in Long Island.
Yeah, I think it was like maybe WNEW, but it was always 11 o'clock at night, maybe Sundays, if I remember right. Dr. Demento's Funny Five.
I mean, he was huge.
Yeah. That's how it turned me on, like, to the first recordings of Weird Al and Tom Lehrer. Yeah, huge influence.
Amazing dude. And a musicologist to boot, like a total musicologist.
Wow. Yeah, that's and so do you mind what did he buy?
He bought my worst record. I have to say, it's called Self Bootleg. It was a live record done at Fox Run.
Oh, I know that record.
In Sudbury. It's just, the good thing is it has the final verse to Houston, We Have a Problem. That was with the Buddhist monk in it, which was sorely lacking on the original, but I hadn't written it yet. So
the original is Songs My Mother Hates, right?
Right. Pleading the First. So
Yeah, right. Chances are there was a song on it that he needed or wanted, because that's how I've gone through your records from time to time. It's like, I need that, I need the something. And I thought, it's on Better Man. It's on Aristocrat. Yeah, chances are, he's probably going to spin it. That's awesome. He doesn't have a video show, does he?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
The videos, you've made so many videos. They're everything from like single camera, sort of home quality, but not only because it's not home quality, but it's just like you in a black screen,
Right, simple stuff.
But also, like, there's some videos that are like fucking productions. Like, you must take me through the process of what you decide to do, and like, you must enjoy making these videos because you got a ton of them, and they're all good, and there's a lot of love in them.
Right. Well,
a lot of love put into them because they're not all about love.
Not all about love. Love's fucking boring. Eric, are you alone during this quarantine? Why, yes, I am. Thank you very much. Here's my record. It's called Love is Fucking Boring. Yeah. Hey. It's all
like
me.
That?
Me switching. Love is boring. Love is gentle. All right. Anyway, that's enough. Slide it back.
I could do that. But I like my bells and whistles.
That's a great bell. So how do I do it? Well, first of all, I got to say, Neil Eckstein, if I had any patron of the arts, it would be Neil Eckstein at Fox Run, who most of my videos happen because Neil's like, let's make a video. Or I'm like, I should make a video. And Neil's like, boom, because Neil has an unbelievable amount of energy and passion and will set all the shit up. And then I do it. So my association with Neil, who has just been the most giving friend there is a big reason why I have so many of the videos. But the big bells and whistles one that you probably are talking about is called Senator Whoever. And
that's one of them for sure.
Yeah, that was done in L.A. I was sure that this was going to be a breakout hit. It's a good song, and we rented. I basically said, I'm going to do this, and I have a friend named Kelly Carlin of the George Carlin's daughter, Kelly Carlin fame, and who when I'm in L.A., when I lived in L.A., I just moved from L.A. about a couple years ago. So I was Kelly's all the time playing music, and she kind of hooked me up with people there. Hey, look at that's a bell and a whistle. Look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a bell and a whistle. So this was done in a huge warehouse in downtown L.A. And there are actors in there, and there are comedians like Chris Bono and Emery, and Dave Crossland makes a cameo there. But
yeah,
basically,
I saw Dave.
I laid the money down. I said, it's time for me to make a serious-ass video. And that's what we did. And it cost a shitload of money, and I got about the same number of hits as the one-camera shoot does. So,
but for better or for worse, I think you get mileage out of this one because it's still fucking relevant.
That it truly is. There he is. There's the senator. There's Dave. You see what's happening here? He's a boxed and shipped senator. And I'm telling all the people.
This video is fucking awesome. It really is cool.
Thank you. There's Dave. So yeah, but the bottom line is, why do you make stuff at all? You make it because you wanna and you can, and that combination of things is what keeps me occupied, and keeping my brain occupied is a good idea because it goes to very dark places when not. So
yeah. Do you find there's when you're going through the process of making something that extensive, do you find do you do the opposite of the Zen thing you're supposed to do and get like, and then when it's all done, you're like, womp, womp, what do I do now? Like, that's what every time I take on a project, I always feel that crash and burn,
That's with everything, absolutely. And the more energy you're putting into it. Not only do I crash, I get paranoid. It's really interesting. There's something chemically going on. It's almost like when suddenly I'm not interacting with the people I have been working with these past weeks or months, and when it's not there anymore, I find myself, did I say this to that person? Oh my God, I'm such a bad. It's like I'm stoned. It's like I think it's a withdrawal of interaction. It triggers some deep fear of abandonment in me, and so I mean, how much you charge an hour? Because we're doing therapy right here, I think.
Some level of that has to be, the artist's plight.
When I was an actor and did plays, it was always that way.
Yeah.
Wake up the next day and need a reason to need a reason.
And the studies they could probably do on like when you have a, we used to play every Thursday night, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of fun, steady. I'm getting fucking older. I don't want to sink all this promotion into one big show. And I live locally. And then you put all your energy and your rehearsal and your time, and then all of a sudden it's over, and then you get sick.
Right. And then you have to do it again.
And then you get where you just kind of always have a little bit of a cold, but feel good enough to go out all the time and play every fucking week at your local bar.
That's right. BC, by the way, you said before COVID, it's BC. It's the new BC.
BC.
Yeah.
Are you handling the? I noticed you got cats, man.
I got cats. Yeah, I woke up one day and I was like, "What the?" Oh, well, I used to have mice, and the cats came to find them. Yeah, I got kittens a week ago. There's a little dude named Kruger and a little lady named Dunning.
Yeah.
And they're cute as hell. What can I say about them? They're just damn cute. They play all the time. They play, they shit, they sleep, and that's pretty much all they do. And it's great.
And you clean up after them, and that's it.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Can I complain for a second? You mind if I complain? Yeah. So I was like, good. I have a third room in my place. That's where I'm going to put the litter box. Upstairs, away from where I hang out. Perfect. And then I started noticing that one of them just started shitting in the bathroom on the floor. Yeah. I'm like, well, I appreciate the higher, cognition there, but that's not where the litter box is.
Yeah.
So they're young, so I still have 2 litter boxes because I'm trying to get them onto the good big one that scoops it itself, and awesome. But then I bought it, and it says you can't use it until they're 6 months old. So I have to scoop it myself, and so now I've got a litter box at both ends of my house, which means it always smells. No matter where I am.
They actually use the one upstairs and downstairs?
I think they've just given up on the one upstairs, and that's kind of a relief, so to speak, at this point. Yeah. But I'm going to have to do something about it. My bathroom just ain't big enough for the 3 of us.
You just rotate them in and out, and hey, they want to shit with an audience.
They're right behind me. One of them's probably dropping a bomb as we speak.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been doing writing during the COVID thing?
Yeah, a couple things. I'm involved with some people in New York and L.A., and they're putting together a project where everybody that they ask has been writing a kind of a humorous song for it. I'm just getting started with that. I do my piano things that you talk about every day for about a half an hour. It keeps me kind of occupied, and it keeps me accountable, which is great. Doing a lot of photography more than anything else, though.
I noticed that. Really great, man.
Thank you. I've gotten into photography. I got a new camera, some nice lenses, and now I'm.
And again, you have Neil. Who's just got to be the best coach,
Neil's a great coach. So is my father, who's a photographer.
He's responsible for so many pictures,
Yep. Hey.
That's got to be a Neil shot, right? I didn't see it, but.
Well, it's definitely not a selfie. So that could very well be a Neil shot.
Yeah.
Well, it could be a selfie if I wasn't using my hands. Anyway.
I know.
Hey.
Uh-oh. Wait, where did it go? I know that's not a selfie because Neil was on the stage for that one, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, that's not a Neil shot, rather.
That's not a Neil shot.
That's the ugly sweater round.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I want to ask you, my favorite songs of yours are the ones that are as edgy as fuck.
Right.
And what's it like to see the songs go through the generations where some of them remain completely still relevant? Even some of them aren't relevant because of names used. They're still relevant because of you could replace the names. Like, what's it like to write these? I mean, this stuff you do is, you're whatever it is, like a political humorist, satirist, like a Lenny Bruce. It's nasty. You've written, for anybody who doesn't know, you've written songs about prison rape and the song "Keep Your Jesus Off My Penis, Keep Your Bible Off My Balls." You've written so many deep songs, and they're so dark. The one about the point of view of a person who is going to have a child in Alabama because he's going to rape somebody, and abortion is illegal, and he'll probably get out in time to share some of the high school years with his daughter, which is the product of rape. That's the twisted. That's so fucked up, and it can offend people on so many different levels. And it's like some people like trigger warning. That's a fucking trigger warning. That song right there. It's so fucking dark.
That is extra dark. That one is extra dark. Well, the concept of the unreliable narrator. It's a thing that it's Randy Newman, where he's singing songs from the point of view of somebody that he doesn't agree with in order to point out how fucking horrible they are.
Right.
So,
rednecks.
I was going to say we're rednecks. I won't even say the next line. But
we can't.
We can't. We can't.
We wouldn't.
I remember back in the day when we could offend people.
Yeah.
Remember when being white meant... And so I do that, and the thing is, I write songs that I don't even necessarily want to have to play. Like, there are songs that I've written where I said, okay, I'm playing it once on Facebook, and I'm never playing it again because it's just wrong.
Like, I hope this gets dated.
No, not because it gets dated.
Well,
there's one of them called, that one was called The Best Baby Mama in the World. Where does that fit in a set? You know, how does that even go? Think on I'm from Alabama. Well, I can't even think of what it was. I woke up this morning. Fuck it. Anyway, really offensive stuff that I don't. Like, the writer in me can say anything he wants. The singer in me is like, Jesus Christ, dude, give me a break. I don't want to have to say it. And the singer of me has gotten, over the years, less angry and more in need of approval and not offending people, to the point where I do not want to get in front of an audience and sing something that's going to piss off 20% of the people. I want everybody in the audience to like me. Like, I have shifted that. The fuck it me has, with age, mellowed. So that kind of stuff, I have to write it. Occasionally I'll write it and I'm like, yes! But, having to actually sing it. And the one, the MAGA Salute. I wrote a song called the MAGA Salute, and I said, I'm going to play this once. And it's like, spit on your hands, do the 5 high, and hug it out, ain't it good to be alive? Everybody else do the MAGA Salute. I'm basically saying, please, everybody who likes Donald Trump, get sick and kill each other. It was basically the,
Right.
And,
right, if you really, if you really believe in what he's saying, go out and give yourselves a big kiss and stop by the COVID ward first. Right,
I know that I'm not supposed to feel that way because I'm supposed to be a better person than that. But and I don't necessarily want to bring hate or ugliness into the world. But I have to bring it out of me. So it gets out, and it's my decision as to how much to shit on the rest of the world's vibe in order to get it out. The problem is, there are enough sick people and just despicable people in the world that like my music that they keep me doing it. It's their fault, really. It's like drug dealer versus the drug user. Whose fault is it that,
I've been doing this Thursday night gig for years, and when you moved back to town, I asked you on it, and I always, at some point, I'll say, Eric, I want to do a song, and what's the song we've been doing, Fuck You?
Right.
Like, I know that's, I used to save it for later in the night thinking, like, I don't want to offend anybody. This is a late night crowd, but I started calling the song earlier in the night. And it's funny because I think that song works because you kind of like fuck everybody. You pull out a lyric that's like, right wing, left wing, holistic, climate denier. It doesn't matter. It's like, it's kind of like
fuck you and your motherfucking Fitbit. Fuck you and your Confederate flag.
Right.
Fuck Kim Kardashian when she fucks a nitwit. Fuck you and the Chihuahua in the bag. Like, that's everybody. Right. By the way, I need to mention that's a co-write. That's a Fox Run 5 co-write.
Right. Neil
Eckstein,
Tom Passado Rao.
Tom Passado Rao, and Jagoda. Yeah, we sat down, we sat around the table and said, who do you want to say fuck you to? And we were like, ooh, I really want to write this song.
Yeah. It's just, I'm watching the Senator, whoever, and I'm watching Keep Your Jesus Off My Penis, and it's all about just like, listen, and there's lyrics in there, it's like, hey, there's beauty in religion and love and hope, but who the fuck are you to turn your views into my laws? I know that I didn't quote it verbatim, it doesn't rhyme. Almost. Your version rhymes, but it's just, what is it? Is it frustrating to see that you still got to keep writing these songs? Is it like, it's such a weird thing because it's one hand it's like is there a part of you that thrives on it, or is there a part of you that just wants to retire with your feet up in Costa Rica, or both?
I don't write these songs because I want to. I write them because I have to, which is to say, there's so much going on inside that I need to let it out. And most of those songs are very specifically talking into the second person, as in they're all to you. Keep your Jesus off my feet. It's singing to George Bush. It's singing to fuck you. It's very specifically, I need to tell somebody off. And that's a lot of somebody that I'm pissed off at. This is a lot of anger, and that's what gets out. Am I frustrated about it? Not like I'm not frustrated with our current, political situation at all. Hey.
Yeah.
And it's gotten worse. In many ways, it's gotten worse. So, yes. Am I frustrated that I have to keep singing it? No, because I try to avoid singing them.
Yeah. It's cool. It's the songs that it's such truths that. Have you ever had the conversation at the end of the show that is a real conversation with somebody you can have a conversation with and not just name call, but just flat out didn't agree with something?
No, but I had a conversation in the middle of the show once.
Well, was it a good conversation, or was it just a heckling argument? You know what I'm saying?
No. Two older people stood up in the middle of Hattie and Maddie and said, "We don't care for this kind of music," and they walked out. So that was, But no, I've had conversations with people who honestly disagree with me? No, because no, I just haven't. The ones who disagree with me go home and concoct a mail bomb. It's not like
well, they probably listen to you. They probably give you more hits on your website.
Probably.
And look what else he did.
Yeah.
Look what else he did.
There was one who, there was Who Da Bitch Now. I got. It wasn't even me. Ann Feeney, who's a great labor singer, singer-songwriter, political force, covered the song. And in the song is the hook is "Who Da Bitch Now," and it's about the fact that anyone who commits an atrocity ends up in jail, getting their comeuppance, so to speak. And
their day is due.
Their days, and somebody wrote her and said, I work with prisoners, and prison rape isn't funny. There's nothing funny about it, and I can't deny that at all. There's nothing funny about it. But then you get into the difference. You get into what comedy is. You get in comedy is you have to be able to invoke things which are powerful, and the things which are powerful are things that are going to trigger some people. And so, you use the tools that you have. So, anyway.
It's like sex or war. You got to come out with something on you. Yeah. It's that is absolutely what it is. It's comedy. You're gonna get dirty.
There's different
especially
rules.
Unless you're telling jokes about your girlfriend and the weather and shit like that. Like that's not knocking that type of comedy.
Airline
what
food.
You do.
Airline food. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's always interesting to me when you hear something that you heard 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when you hear a comic, when you hear George Carlin talking about like the best baby mama in town or the best baby mama in the world, your song.
Yeah.
That can trigger anybody who's had like sexual assault or anything that's happened to them. Absolutely, it's a trigger song. But the song is a dark, dark song from the point of view of a rapist in a state where he can get away with it.
Right. I mean, it's nothing but political commentary about the law in Alabama. I mean, that's what it is. And
right.
So, if you're going to laugh at it, you're going to have to break some eggs. And is that going to trigger people? Yes. I think that our rating systems should be song specific, and it should be like this one rated YRSLTTSIYDLHASAKP.
What the hell is that?
You really shouldn't listen to the song if you don't like listening to songs about killing puppies. like each song should have a rating so that you don't listen to this one because everybody else would like it, and if you don't like it, and therefore everybody else can't like it, fuck you.
MNFY, maybe not for you.
Maybe not for you, but the bottom line is, you know.
I think that should be that's the only rating, and it should be on everything. Maybe not for you, and just put it on fucking everything.
Rated BFH. Boo fucking who. Yeah.
That's at the end of the whatever you just watched. Maybe not for you in the beginning, B fucking H at the end.
Yeah. The bottom line is jokes that are funny to everybody but the people they're not funny to, which is every joke. The people, it's like, look, Woody Allen, did he molest his children? I don't know. Should we throw the baby out with the bathwater? No. We like Woody Allen. It's our mistake to worship people instead of their art. Mm-hmm. It's about his art. So am I still going to watch Woody Allen even if he may have done bad things? Absolutely. I mean, it's like if you do good and bad on this earth, let's keep the good part. That makes perfect sense to me. Instead of canceling all these people out. And the same thing could be said of songs. The songs that are good for some people and bad for others, let the some people listen to them.
Yeah, and there's art and there's action. And once you find out a guy like, it's Louis C.K., right? It's top of his game. Just everybody's loving up what he's doing and buying everything. And then you find out he's done some really sketchy shit. It's like, you can't deny the art. It doesn't mean you have to love the guy as a person. And I'm not, and maybe it is a reason not to buy the shit anymore. But if you, I don't,
Well, but both of these guys, those are both good examples. Louis C.K., what's his act? One of my favorite acts of his, bits of his, is called Of Course But Maybe. You know what it is? He's like, It's a game that he plays with himself. Of course but maybe. Of course, if peanut allergies, if having a peanut can kill a kid, if touching a peanut can kill a kid, we shouldn't have them in schools, we shouldn't have them on airplanes. Of course. Of course. But maybe if they get killed by a peanut, they're supposed to be dead, and we just leave it alone for a generation, and then there's no more peanut allergies. What? And he makes a joke about fucking babies. Now, some may be triggered by it. The point being, what is he about? He's about telling the darker side of people. He's precisely about being willing to say what other people aren't willing to say, but are thinking. And that's why he's fucking therapeutic to people. Woody Allen did a movie called Manhattan about being in love with a 16 or a 17-year-old, and people were like, he's a genius. Then he's in love with a 16 or 17-year-old. Like, he's horrible. We need this art because this art is letting us confess to who we are without raising our hands. And so for a person who's an artist to be vilified for actually being that is fucking hypocritical.
Do you think someone like him, do you think that movie is a self-fulfilling prophecy, or do you think it was something he was doing and just wrote about it? You know what I'm saying? I wonder about Louis C.K. because it's like, I don't know. I don't really. It's not like I read up and studied Louis C.K., but it seemed like he got caught doing this shit later in his career, and his bits and jokes were that dark, and they just kept getting darker and darker until he actually maybe tried it out in real life. Of course, I'm speculating. I don't know what's what, but I think Woody Allen was not doing any fuck shit, and then all of a sudden he got away with it in a movie, decided to try it out, Or do you think he's just he's been in him the whole time?
Do you think he's pulling a Trump and just feeling things out by announcing it and seeing how people react?
Yeah, just pushing the envelope.
I think Woody Allen is just a sick dude who likes hot women you're not supposed to like, even though they're hot. That's what I think. I think somehow Woody Allen's libido and unconscious didn't get the memo that women are not attractive at 17 and 364 days.
Yeah.
He didn't hear that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm starting to fear for those cats in your apartment, Eric. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Actually, cat years. What? We know what dog years. What are cat years like? Cats can live to 20. The average person say they live to 80. So it's 4 years, let's say. So right now, my cats are they're 8 weeks old, 8:32. So they're they're still like under a year. Yeah, Louis C.K. might get involved, but that's not my jam.
It's like that cameo from my kid back there.
Was that your kid? I was like, who is that? Yeah.
He's almost 6 feet tall now.
That's a tall person. I was like, they don't possibly have a roommate. That's yeah.
That's my son.
That'd be a good name for a song. COVID roommate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So are people commenting here? I kind of vaguely.
Oh, I haven't been looking. I got to take a look. Yeah, people. I can throw them up. Yeah, there's some great comments here. Yeah.
Who is not going to happen?
Oh, that is my friend Isaac.
Oh, that's Isaac.
That is Isaac.
I was wondering. All right.
And just to answer this person, yes, I absolutely used to sing the Red Line song at Park Street. That is me.
Yes, Snoop. Along with many other brilliant songs for.
I wouldn't say brilliant, but yeah.
Well, because it would suck if you did. But.
Yeah, dark.
Street lines in Boston suck. On that you can bet your last buck, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Now, when you throw a song like "I'm Sorry" on the Better Man,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like it's not like dark satirical, but it's kind of dark personal. It's do you think about that? How the songs lie in a like you have a record like The Aristocrat that's got edgy songs on it, and then you throw like a ballad on there or something,
Well, there's no ballads on The Aristocrat. I kind of separated. So I made The Aristocrat and The Better Man at the same time, and the specific concept was I'm going to put all the funny, dirty shit on The Aristocrat, and I'm going to put all the Better Man's going to be the stuff that you could listen to with your mother, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So The Better Man has I'm Sorry on it. It has a bunch of serious songs on there. So that was me saying, it's really hard mixing stuff up. It's hard. It's hard being singing because if you sing a song where the persona of the person singing it is, I'm cool. You can't get anything past me. There's nothing really serious. Like Dave Letterman. If he makes a joke, he's Letterman. You're never getting underneath that, his veneer. You're never getting underneath his persona. He's got shit taken care of. Johnny Carson the same way. They got the shit taken care of. You can see how old I am. And you don't expect any kind of sincerity from them. And they are comedians. They build a vibe. They build that persona. And as my comedic stuff, I am building that persona in the songs that I write. So if I sing a serious song after that, I had a friend who wrote a song making fun of sensitive singer-songwriters. Mm-hmm. It was very good. And I saw him do a show, and he followed it up with a sensitive singer-songwriter song.
Right.
And you're like, you just made fun of who you are now in the last song.
Was that an accident or a strategy, you think?
It was an accident. And it was, to me, and I never told him this, but I'm going to have to call him and rip him in an asshole, that it subverts it basically breaks that which he has set up by going underneath it. So it's difficult to move between things if you are setting up a certain persona. And so what I do, I kind of set that persona up, and this way I can, by making a record with all the serious stuff on it, you can expect to see that. You know, kind of like a McDLT. The hot stays hot. And do you remember the McDLT?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I was just talking about the McRib the other day. But anyway. I remember the McRib better, but
Sean.
So you put out a ton of records. You put out I'm looking at the iTunes here on my, you put out the one Hattie and Maddie what's on Hattie? What is that? Is that Sunday Blue?
No, that's How It's Gonna Be, the first.
That's how it's. You got the self bootlegs. You got Eric the Red Schwartz pleading the first. You have Redder Than Ever. You have the two records you released at the same time. You put out a lot of stuff, made a lot of videos, and then you decide to go away for like a year.
Yeah, I said I was booking a gig, and well, you know what? Being a touring singer-songwriter is not an easy way to make a living, and it's not an easy life either. You're constantly having to book gigs, and I'm not complaining that I get to make music for a living. I'm blessed in that way, but it's an all-consuming. Cats are the first pets I've been able to have besides a boa constrictor, because I would leave town for a month, and it's a lot of effort to book gigs and to travel and show up and then wonder if anyone's going to be in the audience. It's psychic. It's very difficult, and even though it sounds like a piece of cake, it's really not, and it's not for everybody. And I had enough of it, so I said, you know what? I don't know what I want to do next, but I know that I need to get a psychic separation from what I have been doing.
Yeah, everything you said is a roller coaster on top of the roller coaster we were talking about before, the actual creation of the art and so much going on. Right.
Every night you show up, every night I'm grumpy before the show. Why am I doing this? Nobody's going to show up. Blah, 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 blah. I play the show. It goes awesome. Afterwards, I'm like, I totally want to do this. And then I go home alone. So,
right.
So I had enough. So I posted to Facebook, can I crash with you? Where do you live? That's all I posted. And I got 320 offers on 5 continents. So I was like, I'm doing a walkabout. I'm going to go on a global walkabout. And
was anybody like, whoa, you were serious? Wait, yeah, I'm in France, and
I thought you were with a joke. You are American. I cannot. I have no sheets for you.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so I did about a month driving across the country, up and down. In America, up and down to Idaho and Utah and Montana and Colorado, and then I did it in Europe, and then I did it. And at this point, I didn't really know many people at all, but I did it in Africa, India, Southeast Asia. I spent 7 months traveling that part of the world.
Did you take a guitar with you?
Did not take a guitar because I didn't want I didn't want music to be my identity. It was a mistake. It was a mistake because it's also the great door opener. It's also a great way to meet people.
Right.
And you show up at a hostel and you have a guitar, you make friends really quick. And that's
especially with your repertoire and ability to recall songs and
and the fact that
it's raining and all this. You play "I Love a Rainy Night" and everybody's like, "I love that guy." Boom.
Yeah, it would. I think it would have been a different experience. So I got to India more than halfway through this thing, and what did I do? I bought a ukulele. Huh? I hate the ukulele. Yeah. I despise the ukulele. People play the ukulele when they don't want to learn a musical instrument. Fucking hate the ukuleles. But I bought one, which was like me rooting for the Giants, and then I played that. It's not like I was doing a lot of busking in India, but at least I had some way of making some music.
Yeah. Were there moments where you were somewhere random, completely random, and a guitar did find its way into your hand? Like, what was that like, if there was one?
There were a couple of times. One it was the perfect time. I was in India, and I wanted to put a move on this woman, and we all ended up in a cafe, and there was a guitar, and I see the pistol raindrop fall on the window down the hall. Becomes, hey baby, I kind of I worked it, so. And then once.
No, take me through that though. Like, was it hanging on the wall? Were you at an open mic? Like, how the fuck?
No, it was like a regular cafe where everybody, sits around a table. There's no chairs. They're ordering So I was in a place called McLeod Ganj, Upper Bagsu specifically. It's this place is all right. So, and McLeod Ganj is the Mar-a-Lago for the Dalai Lama. That's where the Dalai lives in exile. And that's just outside of Dharamsala. The whole area there's a lot. Basically, it's a very spiritual area. It's up in the foothills of the Himalayas. The Himalayas. And up in McLeod, Upper Bagsu is the foothills of the foothills. And it is just filled with two demographics. One, white people who want to learn yoga,
right,
sitar, and
paying a lot of money to do it, probably.
Yes, and two, Israelis who have finished with the military and need to smoke so much weed to forget everything that they've seen.
Right.
So a lot of the signs are in Hebrew in the north of India.
Wow.
Very strange, really interesting.
Wow.
But there's this woman. I had met this woman right where I bought the ukulele in Goa, and then I kind of met her up in Dharamsala. And so she was taking this yoga teaching class, and I was there taking a tabla class. And I went and hung out with her and her friends. We were sitting around waiting for lunch, and there was a guitar on the wall, so I just slid over, pick it up, and I started kind of just jamming with it. Then started singing when there was a lull.
It's a guitar on the wall.
Made sure not to look at her. This is just who I am. And so then I took off after about a week. We became good friends. We didn't hook up. But then I said, I'm going to go to the north of Thailand, and I'm going to take a slow boat down the Mekong River in Laos. You should meet me in Thailand. And then she did.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the name of a movie. Slow Boat Down the Mekong River.
Slow boat down the Mekong. Why does that sound vile?
Everything
That took
sounds
a
vile
slow
when you
boat
say
down
it, Eric.
What is anal about slow boat down the Mekong? I don't know. That's what it sounds like to me. I can tell you there's a lot of detritus on the Mekong as well. Anyway, so...
That's wild. How about now? That's awesome. How about I know you so well from, or I could say a bit more so. I have a lot of recollection of, say, the Kerrville Folk Festival or any folk music conference where I turn a corner and you're holding court. Life of the party type situation where it's just like you just know what song someone says. I'm using the same example as before. Someone says, "Oh, it's raining," and you play, all this, here, who's, Anna wonders who'll stop the rain, boom, and you'll play 5 rain songs in a row, but you're also let people into these circles, and you, was there anything like that in literally in just a world you didn't know, where there was a party or a social gathering and the guitar happened to fall into your hands? You know what I'm saying?
Do you mean outside the country or anywhere? Anytime?
I suppose outside the country is what I'm really getting at, because I know you do it inside the country.
Yeah, it happened in England a couple of times, but people sitting around, and there was a guitar there. I was hanging out with a friend, and I said, "Sure, I'll play a couple of tunes," and then it ends up an all night kind of thing.
4 hours later.
Well, people love music. So,
yeah.
And if you can play the songs that they know. I was playing Greenwich Village clubs 4 hours a night, when I was in my 20s, and totally solidified a collection of songs that I can still whip out. So I think one of my favorite moments when I lived in Spain right after I went to college, and I went there Spain for a year, where I picked up the guitar, and I strapped one on and a backpack, and I went north from Madrid to backpack all through Europe, and Bordeaux is the first place I ended up, in the south of France. And on Bastille Day, I'm standing in the street singing American Pie. Now, if you're going to not talk about America, it's probably the day that people are celebrating France. But that's what I did, and there were 200 people just gathered around singing along to it. And music does that all over the world. I sang at an open mic in north of Thailand, and it was a reggae bar.
In Thailand.
You have to pick. Well, first of all, Bob Marley is bar none the artist who I saw the most about all over the world.
Right.
Africa, everywhere Africa, I mean, his connection to Ethiopia certainly helps that. But he's the picture on the wall in Pai, which is northern Thailand, and all of these Thai guys with dreadlocks. It's not easy to have dreadlocks if you have straight hair.
Right.
These guys all had dreadlocks. It was amazing. And I got up and I sang, "Oh, the pirates, yes, they arrive." I sang Redemption Song, which I never really felt good as a white guy singing. It feels a little hypocritical to me singing it. But I figured they'd like it. And it totally works. And, you make friends. You make friends.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Those are the moments that you played stages and concerts and shows where you release a CD and they stick with you forever, and shows you get on stages, headlining, opening up. You have these moments, but the moments that stick in my mind over the years performing were the ones where either if I was playing or not are the ones that are more spontaneous and random, and I've really never been overseas. I was just curious to know what that's like. You say you're playing Redemption Song in Thailand for a bunch of people. It's that's amazing to me. I used to get that at Park Street in the subway. I used to get that, I used to get that all the time. Where at Park Street, the Orpheum is right above there. So whoever's playing the Orpheum, I take note, and I'm like, oh, I know a Joe Jackson song.
Yeah.
I know a Grateful Dead song. Phil Lesh and Friends. You heard me tell the story. Phil Lesh and Friends let out of the Orpheum. I was at Park Street, and I played after playing a bunch of songs that were mine and getting this great audience that was very appreciative, I played a Dead song, and it was like boom. It's like fucking just tore. It was like a sold out show. People weren't leaving Park Street. It's like they were staying there. They weren't leaving. They weren't getting on the trains. They were staying there and checking out the show at 11:30 at night. It was fucking wild. That's. I guess that's why I wish I was as good at you as putting out records, but I that's why I do the every Thursday thing. I just like to fucking play, and I love that spontaneity of people coming in and out.
And you're an amazing front man. I think you cut yourself down sometimes, but you're really fucking great at what you do. You really
it's nice
are.
of you to say.
You really are great at what you do. You know how to keep an audience. I bet you do. You know how to keep an audience. You know how to make them laugh. Your extemporizing is really good. I'm really impressed by you. Truly.
That's nice of you to say, man.
Yeah.
I miss it. It's funny. I finally, after what happened last year, I was in the hospital. I got all kinds of fucked up, and I finally am feeling back on my game about right now.
Right.
And like literally, how we would be at those Thursday night shows, and I'd be like, I'm on these meds that kind of fucked me up, and I'd feel a little hazy. Got off them in March.
Oops.
I'm ready to go.
Ready to go.
COVID.
Yeah, we'll get back. I don't know how Toad's doing. I don't know what's going on with Toad. It's kind of
I think they're hanging in. I think they're open. The Cambridge Commons is open, and they're serving food and serving drinks. And there's no place to socially distant over there at
Toad.
Christopher's Toad.
Yeah,
So they just keep the doors shut for now.
Yeah.
That's
If you were offered a gig where you could be outside in a 6-foot distance, would you take it?
I just picked up a gig playing bass for a Tom Petty cover band for
Sweet.
just a show or maybe two. Outdoors, socially distant. The money's really good, and I'm not working right now.
Yeah.
So, and I'm terrible at like generating money because this whole time I'm supposed to be like, hey, check this out. I'm supposed to do this, and then I'm supposed to see that, and and like, see, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. What am I doing? See, tips and all that, and I forget to put it up. I forget to put it up.
To do it.
Yeah.
What do we got here? Everything sounds vile when you say thanks, Jake Bush. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, did he say that?
He did.
Yeah.
Jake's doing that thing. Oh, you know what? I just thought of something that was a perfect out of country music moment that you couldn't take it. So, like I said, we're doing a slow boat on the Mekong, but you have to get over to Laos to do it. You have to cross over the border into Laos, and we were with like a van of 6 or 8 people starting off in Thailand, and there were some very whiny, entitled people.
Right.
People that were on. I love the Netherlands. I love the Dutch, but these happens to be whiny and entitled and annoying as all fucking get out. And we get to the border where you have to pay I think it's like $100 American. You have to pay American dollars, and they have to be new $100 bills. And these Dutch women were coming over. I had already gone through, and I hear, "What do you mean? It's a good money." And it turns out that they're like, "No, we're not going to accept your money because it's an old $100 bill." And she was just obnoxiously complaining and whining, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And I'm looking behind the glass, and the border people were just laughing at her, and I'm like, we all had to wait for this person, and she had to get across the border, or we were not going anywhere. And I look around and I see my ukulele, and I get my ukulele, and I go up to the window and I say, "Please let these girls by. This is the only thing that they have is $100." And I just start improvising, like this exactly the kind of thing you do at one of your shows.
Yeah.
And they start laughing, and they take her money and they let her through. Like a ukulele got somebody across a border.
Yeah.
That's
it. I've stopped a few fights playing Why Can't We Be Friends?
Have you?
Yeah, because how over the years you play how many fucking bar gigs? There's always gonna be a fight. You just see it brewing over there in the corner, and you start singing it, and people start laughing, and just all you need is a little bit of distraction, and then boom, it just diffuses everything.
That's great.
Yeah, that's great.
You ever been hit by a flying glass?
We were playing the Skellig once in
Which
Waltham.
has Skell right in the name. Yeah.
Yeah. And Danielle was playing, and I don't remember how or why, but it got rowdy because usually that gig was like a singer-songwriter gig, and it was always like on off nights. I don't remember if they needed somebody to do a weekend night, like maybe somebody canceled and we needed to pretend like we were a cover band or some shit. But it was a bachelorette party, and I know someone threw a dildo at the stage. And I know Danielle picked it up and played her guitar with it. That is a true story.
She played slide?
Yeah, well, no, she strummed with the dildo. Even better. Like this. I think it was women that threw it on the stage. I don't think they threw it at her. I think they just threw it up on the stage like, what are you going to do with this? And she's like, I'm going to rock it. Nah, I don't think I've ever had anything thrown well, not anything. I've had like drink coasters flung at me, you know. But you know, I've also played the Burn. You know, the Burn is you know what it used to be was an open door. So you know, you never know. There's always a great crowd, but you know, with an open door policy, the way it used to be, say on a Sunday night after football lets out, you never know what you get. You know. But I mean, that keeps the skills sharp, because that's the only reason a lot of people would get off the stage and walk out of there and never play again. Like for years, that was a tips gig, and there's a whole list of people, like Josh Ritter played that room, and he was like, I guess as the story goes, because I think Melissa Morris might have been running it at the time, or maybe Danielle. I guess he got up the stage and was like, I can get this crowd. It was way long before he was big, you know. And he's like, I can get this crowd. I want to do it again. I want to do it again, because people just talk through the set and people just ignoring him, you know. And meanwhile, it's fucking Josh Ritter, you know. You know, but that's his style, and that's not what he needs. He needs a listening room, whereas I'm a street performer. So if there's some chaos going on in the room, it often works to my advantage, you know.
I hear that.
So you know, it's I don't know, but that's the way. You know, what I love about you is, like, you often just galvanize a party, and then it's like you said, you pick up a guitar, and 4 hours later, there's still a few people singing along, and everybody's bringing you drinks and that kind of thing. I've been witness to that, and part of it with you many times, from 80s nights to, you know, side of the road Kerrville. I remember one night you took me into the Philadelphia radio room or something. You introduced me to Freebo, and you sat me down, and I got to play a couple songs on his bass and stuff. I mean, you know, what's interesting to me is you write these songs, and a lot of them are dark and angry and confrontational and subject matter. But then when it comes down to being part of the scene, the party, the crew of musicians, you're the warmest hearted person in the room. You just, you know, love to bring people together and play the songs. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of you.
Great comment. Yeah, especially because I know Amy Sue Berlin from Kerrville. I know so many. I only went to a few Kerrvilles, maybe 3 of them, but there's so many people still near and dear to my heart from that festival, and that's where you and I really. I just remember one night it was just pouring out rain, and you were sitting out underneath the canopy just singing songs, and everybody was taking shelter, and you were playing songs. Rain songs over and over and over. I know I've mentioned that a few times. That's how much that impacted me.
Yeah.
It was that moment that I'm talking about that I keep using as a figurative frame of reference. That was the literal moment.
I understand.
You know?
I understand. And I remember that night. That was, you're talking about like at the stage, like in the this hospitality area where.
I remember that night, but that's not the night I was talking about. That's the night where everybody went song for song in the pouring rain, standing up on the table, right? Standing up on a chair.
Yeah.
It might have been a different point in that night. It might have been the same festival, but I remember it was under the Kertree store.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
That's the moment I'm talking about, you know? Oh, man, we have great Kerrville folks tuning in and saying hello. Yeah.
What do we got?
Michael Rubin's here. Amy Sue Berlin's
here. That's why you mentioned
yeah.
Amy Sue Berlin.
Yes,
hey.
yes. Yeah, I got the chat going on here.
Did you hear me talk about your mom?
Earlier in the show, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, Michael. Yeah, oh, that's awesome. Cool.
Yeah. I just and it's what and this is slowly turning into a podcast where I just talk about you and tell you what I like about you. But what twice in my life I've watched you from afar playing bass, and you stop and you're like, "What the fuck are you laughing at?" And you just once it was Kerrville was on an upright bass. You're like, I don't, by yourself, no one around. We're like 20 feet away, and just like, and I'm because you're just murdering an upright bass, and I've never seen you do it before. You got this like Donald Duck Dunn backbeat, and then you're like, stop. You're like, what the fuck are you laughing at? I'm like, and I can't even. I was probably so stoned and high. I'm like, you know, but yeah, man.
Stoned and high at Kerrville?
Stoned and high at Kerrville. Go figure.
You don't say.
So there's no Kerrville this year. There's no wine fest. There's nothing this year, huh?
Yeah, they didn't want to get the corona.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's of all the puns. That's not the one we want.
Yeah.
Maybe in retrospect.
There's no Falcon Ridge. There is no. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think it's going to be like in a year?
What's that?
What do you think it's going to be like in a year?
In a year, I think there's going to be a weird combination of, when there's a vaccine, a weird combination of everybody going sort of batshit wild / no handshaking and a weird sort of distance. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's going to be a baby boom the day after the vaccine.
That's. Or I like. Do you think I would think the baby boom would be 9 months from like April?
Yeah, you're right. Wait, April?
Or sure, well, March, April. You know.
Oh, well, there'll be a baby boom for all the people that are locked together, but then there's going to be a baby boom 9 months after the vaccine. Suddenly everybody's out and just rogering each other.
The free love
Yeah.
portion of the COVID. Yeah, yeah. 2 baby booms.
Yeah.
2 baby booms.
I've already had my kitty boom. I have COVID kitties.
Yeah. Well, although it's not like it's not just one night of blackout. The baby boom might be counteracted by the amount of couples who have killed one another. What's the first thing you're looking forward to, like post-COVID? What's the first thing? Like, is it a show? Is it a dinner with friends? Is it, what is it?
Just want to go to a bar and have a Guinness surrounded by people that I don't want to talk to.
Right? just.
I just want the energy. I just want the energy. Yeah.
What's
and I'm alone here. Apart from the kiddies, I'm one of those who doesn't have anybody else in the house while they're going through this. For the most part, I'm fine. I really am. It turns out that I'm actually quite good at hunkering down, but I'm looking forward to that not being the thing anymore. And I'm looking forward to watching the joy with which that comes back. I want to see people happy and celebrating that. Yeah.
Early on in COVID, I took a ride over to your house and we went for a little walk down by would that be considered the Arboretum over there?
No, the Alewife Nature Reserve or something.
Yeah. Have you been doing that? Have you been doing that solo? Have you been hooking up with some friends? Because we managed to keep 6 to 10 to 20 feet away from each other the whole time,
Yeah. I do it all the time alone. I'm enjoying my photography now. I'm doing a lot of photography. So
from that nature reserve.
Yeah, I do a lot of
great
stuff
pictures.
There. A lot of stuff. There's a couple of great blue herons there, and just lots of flowers. I've gotten really into Tom, flowers and kittens. Those are that's what has become of me during COVID.
Nice, man. Nice. I like this transition. Just don't put on like 100 pounds.
I've already put on like 40 fucking pounds. I've gotten rather sugary.
Have you? You look good. Really?
Yeah, it's in there. It's in there.
Yeah.
What commercial was that? It's in there.
It's in there. Oh, we got to do like a trivia thing. It's in there.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
It's got to be. It might be like product 19 or something like that, where it's nutrients. It's in there.
Oh, it's we're going to be embarrassed and also relieved that we didn't retain this. It's Prego.
Okay.
Did you put is it garlic? It's in there. You forgot. You got to add the basil. It's in there.
Okay. Prego. That's cool.
Yep.
That's
Look,
cool.
my wife got it. Look, some kind of sauce. She knew. the Italians knew.
We should have known it by the accent. It's in there.
It's in there. I thought it was like a where's the beef kind of thing. That's where my mind was going.
Definitely not a suppository. Oh, wait. I didn't even mean to make that joke. I didn't even mean to make that joke.
Really? Come on.
No, I really didn't. I was just meant that it was a medical thing. You'd have a doctor.
We've done a whole show, and you haven't played a song. Is there something you feel like playing?
Something I feel like playing. By the way, hey Tom.
Yo.
You know what they call an Italian suppository?
What?
Innuendo. Right. There we go. All right.
I miss the bull sessions we used to have in the green room with Toad. Of all the things I miss, the two of us would eventually find each other downstairs alone, just laughing our asses off, and he can't repeat anything we say. And the second somebody walks in, we just go.
That one's rated PG, XYTT.
What are you guys laughing at?
All right. Okay. Yeah, I got something for you. Is my guitar loud enough?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Stuck inside under governmental mandate. Gotta be responsible and flatten the curve. Now all you geniuses are back playing beach blanket bingo. I tell you what, you got a lot of fucking nerve. Cause there's people on the front lines risking their lives, keeping us safe and fed and taking care of us. We catch corona, but God forbid you all should think about anybody else. You gotta fight for your right to get melanoma. But me, I'm doing like I should stay in put. It ain't easy, but what am I gonna do with Facebook, Wi-Fi, cable, Netflix, bourbon and gummies and lube? Got lots of coffee in the cabinet, the fridge is full of beer. I got more oatmeal and tuna than I could get through in a year. 100 rolls of toilet paper underneath the bed, and I can trade a few for a steak or two if shit gets desperate. I got antiviral, antiseptic, disinfectant wipes, 105% alcohol for all you anal types. A bullet list a mile long of stuff I need to do, and if I finish Rick and Morty, I might get to one or two. Well, who'd ever thought I'd be doing what I oughta? Being a loafer on the sofa, just grooving on the tube with the cable, the Wi-Fi, Facebook, Netflix, bourbon and gummies and lube. Mary, Mary, quite contagious. A super spreader of salmonella typhi. That's typhoid to you and me. She said, I feel fine, but people were dying, so they locked her on an island under quarantine. And after 26 years and a stroke, she died broke, confined, and pining. You've been asked to wear a mask at Walmart. So quit your fucking whining. Now it's looking like the country's opening up again, thanks in part to hissy fits thrown by militiamen under the encouragement of the telepresident when he's not buying stock in hydroxychloroquine. But until the coast is clear, I'll just be hanging here, staying out of way of wave number 2 with the cable, the Wi-Fi, Facebook, and Netflix, bourbon and gummies and lube. Cable, Wi-Fi, Facebook, and Netflix, bourbon and gummies and lube. Bourbon and gummies and lube.
When you came home from your trip,
Oh,
that was great, by the way. It sounds brand new, huh?
yeah.
Or at least within the next 6 months.
Yeah.
When you came back, or maybe maybe not directly when you came back, I asked you at some point, you answered, and it stuck with me. I asked you, because like what's going on right now in the country, and like you said, the leader of our country just throws like random shit out there and sees how's it land. I might run for a third term, see how everybody responds to it. It's it's such a fucked up thing that's going on here for us from our point of view.
Right.
I asked you what the international point of view was like. Like I asked, I was like, what's the rest of the world think of what's going on? Do they think we're fucked up? And your answer was, and I might be paraphrasing, your answer was, the white people do. But when I go, but there's other countries that are have had such political turmoil, and they're like, yeah, that's nothing. You have no idea what political turmoil is. You know, I think that's what you were getting at, basically. You know.
I wasn't talking color. I was talking about Africa specifically. When I asked some people in South Africa what they thought of him, in both cases the women said he's not a good guy, and the guys said he's a good businessman. And I so you know the propaganda gets all the way down to South Africa.
Wow.
And I asked. I said, but don't you realize how corrupt he is? And they said, do you see where you are? We have Jacob Zuma. There's Mugabe up there. Our leaders are every bit as corrupt as yours. So that was, you know, it's a good thing that we don't normally have that level of corruption. Although there are plenty of people right now that will be listening to this who are, say, Bernie supporters that would be like, of course we have that level of corruption. We just don't know about it. So, well, there's no question that right now we have a level of corruption that we have not seen certainly since I've been alive. Although
what do you
during Nixon?
Yeah, it's there is an argument for that. Listen, I don't want to get into like you have the song "Don't Vote." That's another song I wanted to bring up, Don't Vote, because that's from 2016, before the election, and it's more relevant than ever. I don't think you have to interchange a single lyric.
Yeah, it still works.
But there are people that will say, like, yeah, this system, what do you think, Biden's team is like some saving angel grace. Listen, I'm voting for Joe Biden. I would like Donald Trump out of office. I think the man's a sociopath. There's a specific kind of sociopath, but there is something to be. I mean, I'm not talking about Antifa, but there is a good argument for the anarchist right now. It's like, this shit is so fucked. You just burn it to the ground and start over because it's so fucked. Right. You know.
Right.
It's like, you know, there's a good argument for the virus right now is all I'm trying to say.
That is, I cannot deny that. We definitely, we deserve it.
So, like, are you playing that song? Don't Vote?
Don't Vote? Well, I'm not playing out, so
right.
I'm not playing anything. Do you want me to try to get through it?
I would love to hear that song. Me face talk make noise. That is. I listened to it earlier today. I hadn't listened to it in a while, and I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to put it up on the screen because it's cool. Because I can do these things. My bells and my whistles. I like my bells. I like my whistles. There's the beginning of the video. You know.
All right.
If I spotlight that.
There you go. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a cool recording. It's such a great. Oh, can you actually hear that or no?
No.
Yeah, it's just something. I'm an idiot. I have my things set up wrong. I'm getting off of that because now I'm starting to. It's a squirrel.
Right. Oh look.
Worst host in the world. I'm just gonna watch this video.
Oh shit!
Yeah, can you play that song by all means?
Let's try. It's been a long time. Let's find out. Salutations, what it be? Como estas, ma chérie? If you don't mind, I'd like to talk to you. I'm Charlie the coat hanger. How do you do? Now, way back in your grandma's time, what is now safe and legal was a terrible crime. Victims of biology and circumstance went rogue if they could not afford to go to France. I was so popular then I had the run of the place until my bubble got busted by a Supreme Court case. Roe versus Wade, 1973, on a date that will live for me in infamy. And now all your modern misses just assume that I will be consigned to the closet for eternity. But now the word is coming down the wire, the pendulum is swinging back, the door is opening just a crack, and I'm dying to get off the rack, so let me do my duty, and don't you dilly-dally. Get me out of the closet and back to the alley, 'cause there's just so much more to me than a place to drape your coat. So don't vote. No, don't vote. Don't vote. My name is Billy the Bill. Call me what you will, as long as you call me to committee up on Capitol Hill. I was submitted by a senator, shiny in white. His A's are too long and his pants are too tight. He's sworn to keep the morals up by keeping down the girls and gays, bathrooms, birth control, and marriage, and a host of other ways. His allegiance to the Bible makes him smug and snobby, and he's beholden to the Hobby Lobby. He later will be caught with a congressional page who's over-eager and underage, but hey, who is perfect? I know that I'm not, and this here's the only shot that I got. And if the legislature gives consent, then I will be seen on the desk of the president in 2017. And if she vetoes me, that's all she wrote. So don't vote. Has many sworn. Well, Devin and the Henner has lots of demands. Some release their taxes and some just show their hands. You think that you got problems? Imagine you and me, the junk of the Republican and the nominee. I can't remember the rest of the song, dude. Yeah, I can't think of it. Dude,
this is where you give a band a solo, and by the time you come back from the solo, you got the fucking tune in your head.
Right, the band. Nominee. He said you can say he's full of crap, and you can say he's full of hate. You can say anything you want, and that dude can delegate. He likes to write his little speeches with his buddies to the south. He uploads them to his spinal cord and shoots them out his mouth. He's still the and the only dude ever who got inaugurated a chinchilla coat. So don't vote. Please don't vote. Something like that.
Really, that whole, all the point in the lyrics from that last section, all you really have to do is say, today's politics. Right now.
Right.
And it's like, oh, okay. I got what that last verse is about.
Yeah. Who thought? Don't vote. Don't vote. Or vote third party.
Yeah.
That'll show them.
Yeah.
That was in the song somewhere.
Yeah, I've been doing these podcasts for a couple months now. And, Jeff gave us some love. She got a nice compliment from Mark Steele. Cool tune, you know. I've been doing these podcasts for a couple months now. I've talked to some great folks. I'm trying to get my feet under me with this thing. Thank you for doing it, by the way. Appreciate it, man.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
And there's always a point in every conversation where either me or a guest or both of us steer away because it's like, it's so fucking depressing what's going on. Let's talk about camping.
Yeah, we might be in the last 2 months of the American democracy.
Yeah.
We might actually have a guy that's about to completely upend everything.
Yeah, we might have. In 10 years, it might be Princess Trump is the ruler. It's passed down some executive order to make his daughter the president when he dies, just to keep things smooth and in order.
During COVID, that's what he's doing. He's instead of actually starting a war so that he can stay in office, he's just letting everybody get sick so he can stay in office.
Whatever it is, it's something. It's dark.
It doesn't get much darker than this. This is the thing we were all supposed to be counting on, is that we weren't going to be taken over by a dictator. That was supposed to be a given.
One of the things that kept coming up last week was you're a New Yorker. I'm a New Yorker. We spent significant time in the city. Where were you on 9/11? Were you in New York? Were you
Boston? I was in Boston for 3 years.
I was here too.
Yeah.
One of the things that kept coming up is the days after, the week after, and right up until George Bush declared his axis of evil, which divided us again. But specifically the week after 9/11 and up to he declared the axis of evil, there was this camaraderie in the country. There was nobody was beeping horns. Everybody's like, no, man, you go first, man. There was this amazing, we're all in this together. Even if it was just a moment, it was like, pictures of, let me help you up. That was the vibe.
It's true.
That never happened with this crisis. Not once. It's been politicized since before we even, it's never once have we all been like, wow, let's make Americans be synonymous with friends. Let's make Americans be synonymous with we're all in this together. Not once. 200,000 people. That number is going to hit any day now. What are we? 195,000 as of right now.
You know why that is, right? It ain't the Democrats. We did not politicize this. Don't tell me that we politicized the virus.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
We did not politicize the virus.
Yeah.
We just listened to the scientists.
Yeah.
It's entirely a right-wing problem.
Yeah, but I even believe that the right wing would have at least, or both wings, say I had a counter argument that, well, the Dems didn't help either, blah, 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 and Nancy Pelosi, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I even believe that it's not necessarily, now it's a Republican thing. Now it's even a Republican Democrat thing. There's an argument for all this, but I go straight right to the top, the guy sitting in the chair. I think if it was a different person, it could have been fucking Ted Cruz. It could have been Jeb Bush. It could have been Hillary Clinton. It could have been any of the names other than the one that's there now. It could have been any of the dozens of people who ran for office besides maybe Michelle Bachmann. Right? I honestly think we would have at least had that week, that month of no, man, let's figure this out. Oh my goodness, let's. Who needs the masks? You need the masks. New York's getting hit hardest. All right, let's figure out a plan. Let's get help to New York, but let's come up with. You know what I mean? We didn't even have a day, an hour. We didn't have one fucking speech. It's the guy in the chair, and for anybody to say anything beyond, what at this point is it that keeps people saying, well, what? I got this one guy on the Facebook who's like, well, you would need a congressional act to make a mask mandate. I'm like, I'm not saying there should have been a mask mandate. I actually think a mask mandate would have been unconstitutional. I just need the guy in the top saying, you know what? It's a great idea, people. Let's come together.
Yeah, why don't you wear a mask?
Not hey, everybody, this is my face. What do you think? what is the mindset of somebody who still defends that point of view?
After he comes out and says, yeah, I told people, he said, I will paraphrase, I lied to people because I didn't want to scare them. And the lie that he told, it's not any worse than the flu, is what has been quoted verbatim by tens of millions of people.
I couldn't believe when I heard it on audio tape.
He said, and yet, I mean, that should have been the moment. That, of all the moments, that should have been the moment where they said, okay, we listened to him, and it turns out that he lied to us about the seriousness of a disease. All right, right there, boom, done.
He knew. He didn't just have a feeling, like he knew. It's just, and I read the headlines about the Bob Woodward book, and then I was like, oh, well, no, he said, he said, she said, it's in a book, blah, blah, blah. And then I couldn't believe there's an audio tape. Like, there's a fucking audio tape. Like, it's listen, this can get dark. You talk about the Black Lives Matter movement. And I go down the horrible rabbit hole of watching all the videos of black people being pulled over for garbage, for absolutely nothing. And it's like, when I know we're preaching to the choir that black people will be tired of being pulled over for jack shit. And even though this guy had faulty registration, it shouldn't have had to come to that. But you see that, and you're like, fuck, I wish that guy had a faulty registration. It says that one stupid little thing, and then you're going to hear that, well, he's supposed to just listen to the police and behave. It's like, and you've been pulled over by the police. You get fucking nervous. You start to go, the cop pulled me over to ask me what I was doing the other day on the motorcycle, and I was just looking at my GPS, and he's like, oh, that's great, man. Like, he was totally just checking in with me. I get fucking nervous, and I'm not black, And I forgot what my fucking point was. I'm getting all angry.
Yeah.
But I go down this rabbit hole, and there's this video of a dude. There's a picture of a dude, knee on the neck. You know the one I'm talking about. It's the one. And he's just posturing like an animal who's killed another animal. This is not a cop making sure everybody's safe or making sure. He is killing. Is a video. This guy, George Floyd, he's killing him. 8.5 seconds on his neck, and he's not like this. He's not. That guy doesn't even look nervous. He's like this. Like if he was a bird, his feathers would be puffed up. Like, you know what I mean? If he was a hawk, he'd be sitting over the kill. That dude was sitting over the fucking kill. How is that an audio tape of Donald Trump admitting that he knew on February 7th, or a videotape of this dude posturing on the body of a person who he's actively killing, not enough for people to just everybody to just go, well, there are some arguments, but yeah, this is
tried. It's just tried, man. We pick the facts which confirm and affirm our view of the world and ourselves, and we ignore or deny the facts that don't. The facts are the second part of the equation. Facts don't make us feel things. They affirm or refute. It starts out with the feeling of tribe. It starts out with us versus them. It's an animal thing. Pre-fact. It's just us versus them.
How much of this do you think is the fault? Now, social media has made us aware of a lot of things we weren't aware of. The same way people getting home video cameras made us aware of Rodney King, and that is a normal event. Like, LA didn't burn because of one video. It burned because the bullshit finally got caught on video. So I know social media has made us more aware of this, but also do you think there's a trade-off into, like, the conversation? Maybe it never happened in the first place, but the conversation doesn't happen anymore. Because, like, say you and I did not agree, we would be having a conversation. But if we do not agree on Facebook, you say something I don't agree with, and then I go, and by the time I get the thought on the keyboard, like I've had so much anger to process and research to do to back up my point. It's this never-ending secular cyclone of bullshit from all sides. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, whereas if we disagree with each other, you say something, and you're like, yeah, and then you say, and then the conversation goes back and forth. That's why I was asking you about like conversations at your shows with your material, because I'd imagine there's got to be somebody who comes up to you and says something.
Really not. Oddly enough.
Maybe they can't get through the women.
With the mattresses on their backs. Yeah. That's my grandfather say. They should be running after you with mattresses on their backs. That's what Moish used to say to me. They should be running after you with mattresses on their backs.
Do you mind if I get if you cannot answer this question, but you're a single guy. You've had relationships, but you've been single a lot of the time I've known you as well.
Yes.
You've been more single than you have been with somebody for a lot of the time we've crossed paths.
Yeah.
What is the weirdest, like, now, and I know you have like, yeah, that's, sorry about that. But, I'm talking one night stand, because you tour and you go on the road, and I know you say, and I go home alone, which happens 90% of the time, but it could be less or more. But you do go home with somebody. The limited amount of time I've toured, I was with somebody, but there was always an opportunity to go home with somebody if I should want to. I just didn't, because that's not who I am. So I know there's those opportunities. Like, what is the weirdest song / thing that like someone says, oh, I love that one about the baby mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, take me, like.
Do you mean the weirdest song that got me laid?
Yeah, basically the weirdest. Yeah, the performance. The like, Tell me, Eric, what is it? Makes me sound creepy. I'm over explaining what I want to hear.
I would. Oh,
you play Who to Bitch Now, which is about something totally different. It's like,
right.
what is, not weirdest, just.
I can tell you the song that has gotten me laid.
Sure.
Which is, who's gonna, that's it.
There's the question. Has that song actually gotten you laid?
Yes, it has, a couple times. Yes.
That is a brilliant song to be armed with, going on the road, playing town to town.
It can be helpful. Yes,
yeah.
It has worked on occasion. Yes. For
those of you who don't know, the original Tom Bianchi's actually watching. My dad's on here. For those who don't know,
yeah.
Eric has a song that basically starts off. I'm playing in this place and I'm chilling out and I'm setting the mood and I'm paraphrasing all the lyrics, and it's this beautiful R&B arrangement. It's kind of chill. And I just got one question for everybody, and you build the tension. There's not humor in the build-up other than you're building the tension of a question that's coming, which is the best way to build a punchline. And he holds the note who for a good 10, 15 seconds with the gorgeous, you have a beautiful voice, who, with this beautiful movement, is gonna fuck the singer. And it's all fucking downhill from there. It's all downhill. Every joke is already written. They're already waiting for it. It's just a matter of delivering it. It's a little bit of improv, work the room. The written lyrics are there. The improv is there. So yeah, that song has actually gotten you laid. Inquiring minds want to know.
It has. I remember it. It got me into a threesome in Hollywood once, in a TV producer's or director's house. Ended up in a jacuzzi, which is as you do, and I had a threesome that night. Yeah, so it works on occasion. I like to think of it as a weeding out song. Because nobody with any self-esteem would be seen with me after I sang that song.
Oh, that's your stock punchline, but I think the exact opposite.
How's that?
I think there are incredible, probably men and women after that song will be like, I would let that dude, or I would fuck the crap out of that dude, or both, or whatever. Like, it's brilliant, man. Fucking,
Thank you.
we're getting requests for the song.
Yeah?
We've blown the punchlines, but what do you think?
All right.
I think we should do it.
Well, I don't know why we're here. I don't know if that'll ever be clear, but I don't care. No, I don't. Well, I don't know if love is real, but that's something that I'll ever feel, yeah, but I don't care. Short, the nights are long. I'm a gentleman, but I try to be strong. I'm gonna stand right up, gonna say it loud to all the ladies on the web, so there'll be no doubt who is gonna fuck the singer. Now, this is normally the part of the song where I look for the hottest woman in the room. Doesn't seem to be with anybody, and I kind of spent, a greater percentage of the time that would be demographically appropriate just looking at her and trying to gauge whether I had a chance. That is not happening right now, because not only can't I see you, you're not coming over. So really, when I say who's gonna fuck the singer now, all I'm saying is, well, we're all singers. The bottom line is, singing is just the way that we have of expressing our deepest selves. And we all have our deepest selves, which means that when we sing, we're all just projecting it out into the world. We're all, and we also know this thing when I'm singing about fucking. Sex is shorthand, love is a novel. The bottom line is, when I say who's gonna fuck the singer, look, it's not that guys don't love you. Ladies, we love you as much as you love us. It's just that the time frame is different. All we know is that we love you like now, and we don't know about tomorrow or 5 minutes from now, but that doesn't mean it's not real. It's actually more real than your excuse of love. No, we know that love is an experience, which is why we don't call you the next day. We know we can't recreate the moment that was. It's cheapening the experience. But when a man says, I want to have sex with you, what he's really saying, and I'm actually being really serious right now, he's saying, I want you to love me. That's what he's saying when he says, I want to have sex with you. What he's saying is, I want to feel loved. And you know how I can feel loved right now? I can feel loved right now by you letting me do that thing to you. Holy shit, really? Who invented that? I mean, that's pretty serious, pretty hardcore when you think about it. You want me to do what? Apparently that's the thing. And someone decided that was the best way to make it happen. Anyway, but when you think about it, it's quite a metaphor to, would you let someone inside you that you didn't love? Don't answer that, lady. Actually, do answer that. And if your answer is yes, I'm at 31 Cedar Avenue, Cedar Street, apartment 5. That's Cambridge. Don't go to Somerville. I don't know who lives at Cedar Street in Somerville. But all I know is the following. When I say who's going to fuck the singer, what I really mean is who's going to love me. And it doesn't matter who I am. You can all sing it. You can all sing who is going to fuck the singer. Everybody text a picture of a lighter. Here's the thing. A man is really only saying, who's going to love me? And who can't feel that? We all want to be loved. been quite a while for me. And if you are one of those people that is also quarantined alone, I'm sending this truly out to you. I'm telling you, you're not as alone as you think you are, because we're all in this together. It's important to call your friends. It's important to call your family. It's important to remember that isolation is partially mental, and that you can really even it out a little bit. You can even, you know, when you talk to friends that you haven't talked to in a while, and it's like suddenly your old self, please do that. Please find that person to call. But if you're in the Boston area and you don't have that person, 31 Cedar Street, Apartment 5. Just, text Tom or Eric at ericschwartz.com. I need like 5 minutes to get the kittens out of the bedroom. It's just a thing for me, I don't want them watching me. They might decide to lick something, which, if it's a dog, it's one thing. The kittens have those barbs on their tongue, and I'm not ready for that. I mean, if you're kinky that way, sure, we can write up a... Hey, shut up, man. Don't judge my sex. Don't. I mean her. Ladies, here all I'm saying is this. Everybody in your home. It's gonna fuck the same. But don't whisper it if you're living with your parents right now. No, at that point you have to sing it really loud. On you after the quarantine.
As a Thursday night band leader, knowing you've written sets before and you've written your sets on the fly, knowing that song is in the pocket of the band is such an asset, because it's just so great. Because it's you play a residency and you're there every single week, and you're getting lots of responses, lots of love online, the comments and stuff, and the place is jam packed and loud, and that's not when you call that song as a band leader, someone wrote, well, you should have started with the fact that you have kittens.
Well. Hold on a second. Where are they? No, I think they're... Wait. Look at this.
Let's see him. You're wireless. You're bragging to me all about all this wireless technology you got tonight. Oh. Yay. Hey, Eric, I might have lost your audio just now. I don't know if you could still hear me. Yeah, I think I lost your audio. We'll forget. No, it's not there. I'll give you a shout. I'll keep talking and say, hey, it comes back when it comes back. But Eric, since he moved from LA to Boston, we've been playing every Thursday night up until quarantine, of course, and it's for lack of a better definition, it's my band, I guess, but it's a band of the people, and we have a lot of band members who do songs, and knowing that I have a song like that in my pocket, so it might be packed and slammed, and that's not the time to call that song. It doesn't matter if it's early in the night or later in the night, but it's like when it's a little bit mellow and people are a little bit just kind of chilling out. And one of my favorite things, I still don't have it, just so you know, one of my favorite things as a performer, but to be on stage and to be on stage and also a spectator, if you will, even though I'm part of the band, to listen and watch and wait, and I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for that, and he's setting it up, and the laughter that pops out as soon as you drop that lyric, it's fucking hilarious, man. And so many of your tunes are like that too. I love the song the Baker Thomas Band also plays with Eric leading. We also play the song "Fuck You," which basically is like saying "fuck you" to everybody. You know what? Eric's gonna hate me, but I'm putting you on the camera because look at those knees. God damn it! Look at those fucking knees. Those are some sexy knees right there. Yeah, I don't know. We got this the technical thing going on. I was like, get up, dude, go wireless. And then I totally fucked it up. That happens. But, you know, we're people who can pull this kind of thing off. I remember one of the Baker Thomas Band shows. Eric showed up, set up, and he did not have his power cable with him to plug in the keyboard. And he's like, do I have time to go get it? I was like, I don't know. And then we hit the stage and we started to like sort of vamp. And then he walks in the door just as we're vamping. And he's the hero of the moment on that. Wow, we're getting SCHWARTZ crotch shots here. We're getting a keyboard. I think I want to like do this. Don't know what happened, huh? Huh. Now go to that setting, that little gearbox, you know what I'm saying? Maybe turn it right to your computer or iPad or whatever you're using. Just use the speaker that's there. See if that works. I'd hate to not even at least fix this problem, and then even if we just do it to say goodbye and sign off. You know, it's funny, we have more viewers right now than we have the whole show. I think everybody's tuning in for the train wreck. Everybody loves... Oh, I hear things.
Well, that's because now I'm on the map.
Hey!
Yeah, that's fine.
Everybody loves a good train wreck, Eric. That's why the Baker Thomas Band's good.
And a good crotch shot as well.
Well, that goes without saying.
Yeah. Anyway, how's it going on there? Oh,
that's good, man.
So I want to know what the moisture that Amy Sue Berlin texted in what? Oh, I see. So there's moisture and there's heat.
At first, I thought I'm crying in tears, and I put it up, and then I felt like, I think that was an innuendo, and I think I'm creepy for putting that up, and I took it down real quick. And then she put up fire. And either way, just, you know, we're going to take things creepy. And this is just applause, and that's not going to be creepy, because that would be my stepmother right there clapping for you.
I mean, I've had a crush on Amy for, you know, since I met her. So it's between the water and the fire. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's a balance. It's a balance of energies, and I'm gonna take it as the compliment. And creepy and true. Did you hear?
Yeah, absolutely.
What he says, creepy and true.
I met so many amazing people at Kerrville, and I met Amy. I think I saw her do a poem in a circle, and then I saw her on the campground, and I said hi. And Amy is like obviously like one of the rock stars of Kerrville. She's just such a powerful human being, and everything she does, and she's been involved in so much. Everything she does is important, you know.
Yep.
And let alone that her mom is a folk music icon, you know, a traveling troubadour. And I just said hi, and she stopped and gave me the time of day for a few minutes. She's so fucking nice about it. And this is like, in my world, Northeast Coast, like, you know how it is. Where, hey, how you doing? Okay, yeah, I got this thing to do. And Kerrville is so not like that, you know? Yeah, she's the fucking best. How could you not have a crush on her? She's the fucking best.
She's you know, I just realized she's like Galadriel. She's this transcendent elf from Lord of the Rings. She just glows.
Oh.
She's glows.
Oh, yeah. With when you're in your deepest, darkest time, all of a sudden the light shows up and you're like, hey, check this out.
That's Amy Sue Berlin.
And then you wake up and kick some spider ass.
It's little known. She doesn't actually have feet. She just floats across the landscape.
Yeah, I it's a long way to go for me to go to Kerrville. I miss Kerrville. I do. I was you know, I live here in town, and I'm a concert presenter now, so I'm on hand all the time. And yeah, I stopped going to Kerrville a few years ago only because it's a far way to go. But yeah, I met Amy, and oh man, the list is so long. Reed Oliver and
yeah.
Raina Rose is, oh my God, Raina is such a fucking awesome human. I get Raina Rose's pot smudge all the time.
I need to get I keep meaning to buy some of that from her.
Dude, it's the fucking best.
Yeah? Raina Rose?
Best. You know what I'm talking about, the CBD cream? CBD.
I do.
Here's my testimony for the CBD cream. My brother-in-law in New York big dude, 6'4", 6'5", corn-fed from Buffalo. Was a prison guard, was a security guard, is a court officer in the state of New York.
Yeah.
He's been I don't want to say he's gotten his ass kicked, but he's been hurt in the line of duty a bunch, just restraining people in the court. This one guy threw 4 cops around one time, and he's had his shoulder fucked, he's had stitches in his face, his knees are shot. He's just a big dude who played football, and he came to visit me this past summer.
Yeah.
And and like all cops, he's a fucking stoner, right? And he's like, I heard about CBD. Can I try it? And I was like, yeah. So I gave him the CBD, and he put it all over his knees. And he was like, nah. He left. I was like, you want to take this? I'll order some more. He goes, nah, just nothing helps. I need a cortisone shot. Nah, nothing. Calls me up 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later from the hotel. He's like, dude. I was like, I've been walking around like I have no problem with my knees for the last half an hour. And I'm like, God, my knees feel great. And all of a sudden I realized. It took longer. It's not like Ben Gay where you smell it and you think it's working.
Right.
Shit's good, man. Shit's good. Like, his conception was like, nah, nothing's going to make me feel better. And then half an hour later, he was like, dude, give me the address. Where do I buy this shit from?
This is why he gets in fights in prison. It's his negative attitude.
Yeah, I know, right? We need to refund. He needs better training. Yeah, he's a good dude. But
now he's selling it as contraband in prison.
Yeah. He's pulling people over and confiscating their CBD. You can't even smoke it. Give me it. I should keep my mouth shut. Shit doesn't work, man. It doesn't work.
Don't tell them it works. The drug companies will.
So what do you, right now, you just, your computer microphone?
Yep.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I mean, I'm looking at the connections. There's nothing that should have changed anything.
The wireless battery is maybe die or something?
No, the wireless are okay. They're okay. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
You bought CBD balm at DSW? They sell... At Designer Shoe Warehouse, they sell CBD oil?
Yeah. Everybody's selling it now. I'm not surprised.
Huh. Hey,
Yeah.
Ralston, I'm glad you could stop by and say hey. Yeah, Facebook, the whole Facebook censoring live music thing, it's overblown. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that's what's happening.
I'm not sure. Yeah, there's like talk about it might be like with broadcast music or whatever.
It's recorded music that you don't own. They don't want to turn it into like a YouTube thing where you can just stream for hours and not be involved in a live experience.
Right. But now what happens when I'm doing a podcast with you and say you're on BMI? Is that Ralston asking for the, that's Rainer, it's folkpotions.org.
All right.
Yeah. Is that, I'm sorry, I'm fucking Captain Tangent Man over here. Say I'm doing a podcast with you and I play your song and you're on BMI. Do I get screwed over? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. I can tell you that they could very well shut you down. But currently the situation is that you can say, you can contest it and you don't get shut down. But I don't know if that is going to continue to, yeah. You can't, Jake's saying you can't stream recorded music. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which, sucks. Anytime they say you can't, I want to, but it's not a big deal.
Just fucking do it. Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah?
Just
Right.
start a brand new Facebook profile, nobody on it, just fucking stream Metallica. Fuck you, Facebook. Fuck you, Metallica. I'm gonna stream your shit.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. We're talking about all kinds of stuff. I think we were talking about you getting laid.
Well, I might as well talk about it anyway.
That's always, who's gonna fuck the singer? Does that song get you laid? I'd imagine it should. It's brilliant. Of course it should. But now, I guess, has anybody ever, people, your stuff is so out there. You must get some fucking weirdos sometimes that are like, oh, I love that Irish ballad. Like, okay, thanks.
Yeah, you kind of do get a sense of who people are by what songs they like. They're all Rorschach tests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love them all. Fuck You, I think, is my favorite relatively new song. I love playing that. First of all, it's just great and catchy, and you execute it well.
It's just
And
groovy.
and I love the idea that you don't pull punches on anybody, like, you know.
Yeah, but it's a fun song, and look, it's all in good fun. I mean, that one is just we fucking hate everybody,
Yeah,
and
it's the ultimate curmudgeon song.
yeah, I mean, fuck you and your unvaccinated children. You know, we get some good ones in there. But-
I think there's yoga lines in there, and there's all kinds of stuff in there.
Could be. I can't remember. I have to do it to know it.
Can you do it?
Well, I could try.
So give me just a quick test to see if we need to hit the switches. That sounds right. Let me hear some vocal.
My mama always told me, you gotta tell it like it is. I always listen to my mama, so people listen to this. You may not like the message, yeah, but even if you do, fuck you. Fuck you and your Congress divided. Fuck you and your gluten-free. Fuck you and your Citizens United. Fuck you and your ukulele. Koch brothers, downward dog, bumper stickers, you log, cherry picking, Bible reading too. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you and your motherfucking Fitbit. Fuck you and your Confederate flag. Fuck Kim Kardashian when she fucks a nitwit. Fuck you and the chihuahua in the bag. Selfie sticks, meter maids, robbing thick quadruple blades, puppy mills and oil spills too. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Call our toll-free number if your phone is acting strange. Listen to the menu, 'cause our options have changed. Fuck you and your Starbucks Raga. Fuck you and your 5,000 friends. Fuck you and your Candy Crush saga. Fuck you, Mr. Leaf Blower Man. Locked up right position, indie pop musician, colonics and atomic fission too. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you and your Silverlight updates. Fuck you and your hip-hop country songs. Fuck you and your unvaccinated children. Zombie shores and Madman marathons. Soya version YouTube channel, filibuster, hipster flanner, Kickstarter, streaming music too. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck Tom. Well, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah, man.
That's a Fox Run 5 co-write. Neil Eckstein and Tom Sarao and Matt Nakoa and Jagoda.
The way you tell the story is you asked everybody to write down a list of all the things they wanted to say fuck you about, and then you like ran downstairs and...
I said, guys, do you mind if I just take this upstairs and write it? And they were like, sure, go right ahead.
yeah, go ahead, Eric. Go ahead, man.
It's so much easier than collaborating, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to think I could collaborate. I'm bad at it though. I did the same thing. I started to like take over, and that's not what collaborating is all about.
Right.
Control freak, you know.
Thank you.
Do you know Tony?
I do know Tony.
Yeah, that's a nice compliment right there.
Yeah, that is.
And Megan's right. Full video production for that song.
Well, we've got a video for it. It doesn't have. It has some pictures in it.
Is it? It's live. It's like live from the basement, isn't it? Or
yeah.
Yeah.
With a little bit of visuals.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So anyway.
Well, if you ever do one of those big, large scale or even small scale videos again, count me in. I'll be any fucking extra you need me to be.
Awesome, man. Oh, we'd love to have you. You kidding?
Yeah.
Absolutely. My last name is SCHWARTZ. I didn't realize that was going on the...
You know, I thought you did that. I left it there because I figured maybe you did it on purpose.
No,
I can make it go away.
It's very... Yeah. I have enough problems.
Yeah, you're feeling short of Z tonight. I'm feeling like I'm lacking a Z tonight. I don't know.
A little zealous, missing some Z's.
What's your schedule been like, man? Are you like 9 to 5? Not that you're 9 to 5, but are you like up all night, sleep all day, or been getting up? You know, there's not much a need to get up, especially since you're living solo. You know.
Yeah, I usually get up between 9 and 10, and probably go to bed, 2 or 3.
It's pretty normal.
You know what? I can get work done at night.
Mm-hmm.
Get work done at night when when I actually have work to do, because it's just feels very quiet and that the world is sleeping. And I also, those blue bikes that you can get.
Oh yeah. I've been using them. Yeah.
I will sometimes just go out and get one, and then ride around at night when nobody's on the streets. It's beautiful out there. It's beautiful. Or I'll go to the Star Market parking lot in Porter Square, and I'll just zoom around. I'm usually stoned when I'm doing it, but just zooming around and having fun. Just
it's awesome.
Getting some exercise. It's almost like it's like Burning Man, but nothing like it.
Yeah. Yes. No, I love those bikes, man. They're great. They have that a little bit of an assisted thing, but you can't really go that fast, but you don't feel like you're going slow. I love those bikes, man. They're cool.
I dig them a lot.
They so I just moved to Everett, right?
That's right.
So they have a bike path that goes all the way to the Revere Marshes, and they're building it all the way out to Nahant eventually.
Well, that's going to piss off the people in Nahant. Oh, they're going to hate that.
Yeah, they don't want the people from Lynn and Revere riding their bikes.
Right, they're going to have people from Lynn riding their bikes out to Nahant. That's going to really piss them off.
Hey, mind if I ask you a question? Of all the songs you play and written over the years, what's a song that you always come back to? Because some of your material is like about the Clinton administration, the Bush administration, but not all of them are that time specific. Like, what's a song that always, if you're playing a 1 hour set of your material, like one of your older songs that always finds its way back into the repertoire?
Hattie Matty.
Yeah.
Hattie Matty.
First one I heard.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah, Kevin So.
Oh, yeah?
Played just hanging out with him, played the song for me on a CD player.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. I think Kevin introduced us.
I think so, too. I remember...
In, like, Harvard Square?
I can't remember where it was, but I remember seeing you play with him in Mideast upstairs.
Right.
Mideast... Yeah, it was you. I can't remember who the drummer was, but it was definitely you and Kevin.
This is probably the corner, the Middle East corner.
That's what I mean. Yeah, the corner.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's when I first remember you.
Yeah.
You haven't changed at all.
I don't know about that.
You were in overalls. You used to wear overalls?
I still have one pair of overalls that I wear all the time. My son disowns me when I wear overalls. He hates the fact that I will put on overalls every once in a while. He literally won't leave the house with me. He's so down on the overalls. But I guess that is the right of an 18-year-old to not want to be seen with his father wearing oversized overalls. I do. I love them. I wore them a couple times this summer because I'll go on the motorcycle and I'll wear a bathing suit underneath the overalls. It's nice and loose. So I take the motorcycle down to Nahant and just go down there and just drop the overalls, go in the water, come back, pull them back up, go home. Which is fucking, I mean, come on. You're crushing life right there.
It's so right. It's so
and
right.
You're getting your motorcycle back,
I'm getting my motorcycle back. I'm getting it back. I can't wait to have like a cat caddy behind me. I'm gonna have the kittens with me. I'm like, and the kittens gonna be behind me. They're each gonna have their little helmets. They're gonna have their little helmets on and their leather jackets for the kitten leather jackets. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna
kitten goggles,
right, the flight goggles with the
ears coming out the side,
going back. Or I could get them those things where they're actually right next to me, like they're in sidecars.
Yeah,
kitten sidecars.
Hey, get back to Hattie and Matty. Over the years, you've adjusted lyrics and changed lyrics. Is there anything you've added or subtracted from that song?
Yeah, well, the last verse is as follows.
You want to do the whole song?
Sure, if you want.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
All right. Hattie and Matty live downstairs from me. The same apartment since 1943. They've got embroidered pictures on the walls with quotes that no one said, and an autographed picture of Jesus Christ above their double bed. Well, they're two old ladies that can't be denied, with their matching aprons hide a wilder side. And they will tell you about Perry over countless cups of tea. Maybe you will get the clue, but at first it eluded me that they're the founding mothers of the revolution of mating with a blatant disregard for evolution. Lesbians extraordinaire, years before they cut their hair. 4 stories over all the pushing and the shoving. Hattie and Matty got some brownies in the oven, sitting and knitting and loving their whole life through. Now, all right. In order to maximize your enjoyment of the second verse, got to give you a brief French and art history lesson. The Mona Lisa is not the real official name of that painting. The real official name of that painting is La Gioconda in Italian, or La Joconde in Joconde in French. All right, and now you know. Here we go. Hattie and Matty met through Gertrude Stein. Gertrude Stein, partying in Paris, high on hash and wine. And Hattie said, I'm fond of La Joconde and her strange and sexy style. So Matty said, with eyes of red, I know it made her smile. And now Hattie and Matty, they bake for everyone. And their brownies make our parties so much fun, because it's a special recipe that they got from Alice B. And so I should have known when I heard the groans, but it took me years to see that they're the founding, the mothers of the revolution of mating with a blatant disregard for evolution. Lesbians extraordinaire, years before they cut their hair. 4 stories over all the pushing and the shoving. Hattie and Matty got some brownies in the oven, sitting there knitting and and loving their whole life through. That used to be the end of the song, but there I was at the Kate Wolf Folk Festival just north of San Francisco, the weekend where the Supreme Court had just ruled in favor of gay marriage in all 50 states. So you're at a folk festival north of San Francisco, and it was a great place to be when that happened, and so I wrote the following verse. Hattie and Mattie put on their Sunday best. They caught an Uber to the courthouse steps. They took their place in line, and hand in hand they made the climb. They kissed and hugged, but Maddie shrugged and said it's about fucking time. 'Cause they're the founding mothers of the revolution of mammary massaging and gentle gamahooshing, lesbians extraordinaire. Look it up. Years before they cut their hair, 4 stories over all the pushing and the shoving. Hattie and Maddie got some brownies in the oven, sitting down and loving their whole life through. 'Cause that's what they do. Sitting down and loving their whole life through. Why don't you bake me a brownie and I'll sing you a song.
Awesome. This is more talking up, kissing Eric Schwartz's ass here. You know what I love about you, man? I've been doing this shit forever.
Yeah.
At open mics, singer-songwriter series, touring, playing, meeting other songwriters. I've known a million songwriters forever, and I've watched a lot of them grow. Okay? I've watched a lot of, even if I listen to old recordings of me, I'm like, oh God, what was that? Even now, I'm not too thrilled, but whatever, you know what I'm saying. I remember seeing my wife at the first open mics. My wife has always had that raw talent. She's really good, you know. But like you, we've known each other for a long time, probably since the 90s, right? You've really grown as an artist. You've grown exponentially, but you were always good too. You know what I mean? It's like you've gone to places that it's, you know, it's just the wit is so razor sharp, and you have no boundaries, but you've always been that good. It's almost like you set a really high bar, and then you're like, fuck that, I can always go higher. You know what I'm saying?
Well, thank you. That's really cool.
Yeah. Hey, I'll send you the bill.
Thank you. I mean it.
I'll send you the bill.
Yeah, man.
You know what I like about you? You. Hey, nobody else who was out watching this gives a fuck, but did you watch the Pats game yesterday?
You want to know how isolated I am? I didn't know there was a Pats game yesterday. I'm a Pats fan. I'm a pretty strong Pats fan. But apparently I need to start watching, like, Daily Show and shit like that, because I had no idea there was a fucking game on.
I didn't know either. It came across my radar, like, during the day.
Yeah?
And I tuned in a little bit, kind of. But I didn't know either.
This is, strange not to know.
Strange ties.
And
Strange
Ken,
ties.
look, I'm happy they won. I'm happy for Tom Brady. I'm happy for Gronk. I hope they kick ass. I don't begrudge Tom Brady wanting to get what he can.
I don't either. That being said, they got destroyed yesterday. I don't know if you know.
I heard.
They got their asses handed to them yesterday.
Yeah, Tom Brady's like, yeah, we got destroyed. I got a yacht. I got no problem, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I got destroyed and went back to my yacht in Miami, wherever the fuck he lives now. Tampa Bay. I mean, you ever been to Tampa Bay?
I don't know where he lives. Tampa's got some nice parts, but the west coast of Florida is some gorgeous places down there. He probably commutes from like Houston or something.
The motorcycle has been a godsend during COVID.
How is that?
Just being able to get out of the house. and do things. You know, it's being able to just get out and you know. And one of the things I do is I just, you know, obviously I set destinations and go. But I have found myself, I have this great app where I have a map and it tells me like good roads, you know, certain roads are faster than the others. And I just, and I find myself weaving in and out of Concord, Massachusetts, Lexington, Massachusetts, Brookline, Massachusetts, and further out and further out. And as I don't know if you know, but my wife and I just bought a condo, small place, 900 square feet, 1,000 square feet. It's awesome. So now we're looking at houses, relatively speaking, you know, but we're looking at like fucking like I find myself by accident in some places where I'm like, Tom Brady's got to own this house, or some celebrity's got to own something in this neighborhood. These you know, 6-car garage and just you know the acreage behind. The houses that it's really been, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of cool. It's a life and a price bracket that I'll probably never understand.
Right.
But it's really wild, you know.
It's we made a choice, Tom. When we chose music, I don't know how much we knew this, but we ended up basically choosing probably never living in a house like that.
Yeah.
Unless we heard it, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, even practically, because like we got this place in Everett, which is a city right next to Somerville. We're even closer to Boston now than we were in Somerville. You know, but it's off a subway station, so it's affordable. But what I'm getting at is, for the same money, yeah, we got approved for a little bit of money, nothing huge, but we got this place. But what we could have gotten, say, in Pepperell, Mass. I mean, we couldn't have got a 6-car garage, but we could have gotten a garage.
Right.
and a extra office and a basement, and you know, and we would have been in an hour out of the city. But we made this choice that we need to be in the city because we are musicians, and this is still what we do. We are artists, and my job is just down the road, and it's not like a 9-to-5 job where I commute in and commute back. Sometimes I got to get down there and put the sound system back together because there's a big show that moment. I can't move, you know, 40 minutes away from town. So it's like financially, but not even financially. Just you know, and you know what a condo would be. I couldn't afford something in Cambridge or Somerville. Danielle just put something up because we still look at listings, and there was a listing for a condo in Somerville, and it was like $350,000, and she's like, "Oh my God, wow!" And then she looked it up; it was like 400 square feet. It was a fucking studio. It was like someone's garage. They turned into an apartment. They like rolled a porta potty back there.
Jesus, it's ugly. It is ugly.
You know, it's amazing. Yeah, no, we chose this life. Absolutely.
Yeah. Fortunately, sometimes we sing for people who live in those houses.
Yeah.
Yeah. And invite us to play in them.
Was LA like that? It seems like you got more of that out in LA.
More of what exactly?
Just like you're in that scene, and you're a talented human being, and you were hanging out with comedians who are who have hit it in some levels, been on TV shows, that kind of thing. And it's LA, so it's a little bit more like, come back to this place or come back to that place, or the after party. Was there, you know what I mean? Whereas in New England here,
on occasion, you have to. I mean, the answer is yes. I went to Sater's at Booger's house from
right.
you know. I spent a New Year's Eve at Jason Alexander's house. You know, Costanza.
I knew.
Like
what's his name, Booger? I knew you knew him well.
Curtis Armstrong. Curtis Armstrong.
What's his name?
Curtis Armstrong.
Curtis Armstrong. I saw him in a movie. I forget what the role. It wasn't like Revenge of the Nerds or anything. He was playing a straight role. Yeah. Danielle and I were.
Ray. He was in Ray. He was Ahmet Erdogan. He was in Risky Business, which is where I first
It was actually risky business. Yeah, because one of the COVID things Danielle and I do is at night we actually sit on the couch and surf until we find some random movie and we watch it, and then if we feel like it, we find it at the beginning and watch it from the beginning.
Yeah, risky business was like last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just the other night. Yeah, it was recent. Yeah. Last night before.
Yeah.
We've done Private Parts. We've done Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. We've done Moonstruck. Just, classic movies,
Classic. Yeah. Yeah, I've been enjoying that too. You can get any movie you want on Netflix or Amazon, but somehow watching it when it comes on without your help makes it more valuable somehow. And I don't know why that would be.
Well, the cool thing that the BoobTube does now on a lot of these shows, for the first time in my life, I have kind of real deal cable because I got it when I moved into this apartment because it was COVID, and I knew I was going to need like the highest upload speed in the world so we could do this,
Right.
So now I have like, Xfinity or whatever. I have all kinds of stuff. So say I put Risky Business on and it's in the middle.
Yeah.
And we start watching it, and then you scroll down, and it's we watch it to the end, and then you look at the info, and you can be like restart from the beginning. So we've watched probably a dozen movies from the middle to the end, and then the beginning to where we picked it up.
Can't you just start at the beginning?
You could, but it's exactly what you said. Like you put it in and it's random and it gets you in, you start getting in, and then you're in for the ride, but you're in for the ride from that moment.
Right.
And then you watch it to the end and you're like, oh, let's fucking watch the beginning.
Yeah.
And then you start to, it's, as a true fan of cinema, like a director would, like a writer would, it's interesting because you're seeing you see where the movie went, and then you watch how you set it up to get there.
All right.
Which is an educational way to watch it, and like, oh, that's that inside joke. That's that inside joke. Sometimes that shit happens and it goes right over your head,
I get that.
But when you watch something like that, it's interesting,
I hear that. That is interesting.
Yeah.
What do we have? Faux show. Pandemic thrill. Yes, Ralston, we are the Benedictines, Dominicans, and the Franciscans. Are those minor league teams?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway. But so you guys are psyched about your new place.
Yeah, we love it, man. We love it.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, we're we have no kitchen.
Yet.
It's constantly being built. We get a new piece every week. We get a new piece. It's like today we got countertops. We actually have we can put things down in the kitchen.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is a...
I just had something on my brain. You were talking to me about writing forgive me, would it be manuscripts, or just before COVID you were telling me you were
looking at writing a play.
Playwright, yeah. What do you call that though? The beginning script.
Playwriting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you call that when you write plays?
Playwriting.
Playwriting.
That when you race cars. Yes. Yeah, playwriting. I actually have put that aside a little bit for the time being, but I was studying some of it. And eventually it'll all end up in something. I'm writing a lot. It'll all end up in something. But I'm very good at starting things and then not finishing them. I'm way better at starting things. So I have to get back into it. But right now I'm just kind of enjoying what I'm doing.
I appreciate that. You ever read the Steve Martin book, Born Standing Up?
Yes, absolutely.
He's got a comment in there that's when I realized it was okay to have delusions or visions of grandeur in between moments of real inspiration. Or in between I'm going to do a play. I'm going to make a movie. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to make a rock opera. And then you do, and then boom. You say it as it's a bad quality, but you are productive as far as writing goes and finishing things. So it's okay that you're self-deprecating about it because you bang shit out all the time.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me of that. Yes. Because
I'm going to send you the bill. Send you the bill.
I feel like a failure generally because I start 100 things and I may finish one of them. But as long as I make some stuff. What do we have up here?
All kinds of nice comments coming in.
Hey, Kim. Amy Mantis.
Yeah.
Hey,
I guess Amy didn't know that we were friends.
I didn't know that you and Amy were friends.
Oh, yeah. We know each other from the open mic.
That would make perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. She's a rock star.
Yep. I hear you, Kim. Yep. Yeah. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Amy was in the playwriting class, I see.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. Now,
Yep.
Do you watch movies or plays like I've really in the last year or two I've started to watch movies more like academically, the process I talked to you about before about picking up in the middle and then going back to the beginning has been actually pretty cool. Like, do you watch stuff like that, or do you purposely immerse yourself in the play and then think about that secondary?
Do I immerse myself in the play?
Or movie, or whatever it may be,
I do watch critically now. Now that I started studying playwriting, I watch critically. I ask myself what the scene is accomplishing, what the characters want, whether it's good, or often why does this scene suck so badly? Because the pathology of art can be very instructive. Like, why doesn't this work? Oh, good, because it doesn't have X, Y, and Z. So yeah, no, it's I'm finding out that there are fewer plays or movies than we think there are because the themes are so the themes recur so frequently.
Right.
But I look back when I start. I look back at like Jesus Christ Superstar, and I loved that musical.
I grew up on that. Yeah.
And I go back now and I listen to some of the lyrics and I'm thinking, these lyrics suck. They're just horrible. Like, I would never have let those lyrics get past my pen. Like, they're horrible. But, it's good to know because it means that we don't have to be as good as we think we have to be.
Right.
Which for somebody I'm a bit of a perfectionist. When I finally realized you didn't have to have perfect rhymes, that opened things up. And if you lose the perfectionist thing, you could actually get a lot more done,
Yeah, there's a Paul Simon talking about Bridge Over Troubled Water. You ever seen that? There's some documentary that's coming out, and there was a clip about it, and he's talking about how he thinks he wrote his best song. At the time, he's like, he kept bringing it to people. I think I wrote my best song. And one of the things he was saying is like he tried these lyrics that were more artful, more descriptive, more whatever, and they didn't work. It had to be just simple as fuck. Like, when you're down, I'll hold you. If you're feeling sad, I'll be there. If and none of the complicated shit worked. It was the simplest shit that ended up being like one of his best songs ever.
Right.
You know what kills me? I know we're talking about plays and songwriting, but movies lately. I've been like I've been saying, I've been watching movies, and I can't watch modern movies. It's tough to get through modern movies these days because the fucking soundtrack is so overwhelming these days. You can't. Movies in the 70s and 60s had these long, dry spells of no music where you let the audience build the tension, the moment build the tension. Like the music is constantly telling you what the fuck to do in today's movies, and it drives me batshit crazy.
Yeah, I hear that.
I really don't like it. It's almost like you're a sports fan, right? It's like you go to a Pats game and you know when to fucking clap. You go to Fenway and there's 2 strikes, you fucking clap. You know it's like, all right, strike 3, baby, come on. And you go to anywhere else in the world, many places in the world, because there's some great baseball cities, and all of a sudden the screen is going, now, clap now. It's your time to clap. And people go, yeah, they don't even know why the fuck they're clapping. It's just the lights are telling them to do it. That's what it's akin to, where you're a fucking Fenway and you don't have, it's not a big mascot on the screen going clap now. It's a full count. It's there's 2 outs, 2 strikes. It drives me crazy. And I'm babbling now. Continuing on with the baseball metaphor, I watched Walter Matthau's Bad News Bears. First of all, he's so good. The movie is so inappropriately wonderful. First of all, like we were talking about humor before, and these little kids are dropping every slur. Not that it's okay. It's not okay by today's standards. But by the 70s standards, I guess that's what it was. And today's standards, racism is so at the forefront, as it should be in our modern times. But these little kids are calling each other, you pick a fucking slur, nationality, any color, and they're just destroying each other. And Walter Mouse is like, come on, kids. And he's drinking a flask, like right there. Yeah. And the parents they're not even doing it. It's not like the parents are like, you should put that away. It's like, yeah, he's the coach. Sometimes coach, like, he had a styrofoam cooler in the back of his fucking convertible, like Lincoln or some shit. But in this movie, that's essentially like this weird. It wasn't a kid's movie, but there's the moment in the movie where he gives the little kid a chance because it's his turn and that's what you should do, and he realizes his heart is into this team. No fucking music the whole time. And we're like, it's almost like you have to be in the mindset of the movie. It was so fucking good.
They don't have to tell you how to feel. They're letting the acting and the dialogue make you feel it.
I equate it to your song, Who's Gonna Fuck the Singer. It's this long, it's this build up. It lets the listener in that song is like every single person is going like, where's this going? Where's this going? Where's this going? And then it goes. Then the art takes you where it's leading you to for the punchline, for the event, for the plot twist, and you get there so much harder. You're not carried there. Like in today's movies, the music's going like, oh, I can just check my voicemail because I know that this is it doesn't. You don't have to fucking look. Like
this is the scene when I'm supposed to get happy. This is the scene when I'm supposed when clearly there's a rapprochement between brother and sister because I can hear it in the music.
Oh.
Okay. But that shit works for me. I get that. Like, but I cry at the weirdest things. I would cry at the Bad News Bear. And the music will do it. The music will cue me. Rocky, you forget it. You cue me and I will go, okay.
Yeah.
I totally will.
Now I have to go back and watch Rocky 3 when Mick dies and see if there's music involved.
Mick.
I'm sure there's that piano towards the end of Mick dying. Dun, 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 dun. That lonely piano in the Rocky movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying music shouldn't be in movies. I'm just kind of saying it's overused in modern movies,
To manipulate.
Yeah.
It's used as a serious storytelling. Yeah.
Like the acting is so much better because of it. Because acting, it has to be fucking good because it's so naked. Like every Paul Newman movie should be like, let's watch Paul Newman make faces. His face just takes you through the whole movie. Like you don't need anything else.
Huh. I have not noticed this. I will have to.
Oh man, you're a sports guy, right?
Yeah.
Watch Slapshot with that in mind.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great movie. I haven't, but I'll have to.
Hey, Reg! Like the whole fucking movie is like, let's watch Paul Newman make faces. It's fucking phenomenal.
I'd love to hear this. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got my coffee's kicking in. I'm the one babbling now, and I'm supposed to be. This podcast is supposed to be about you, Eric Schwartz.
Well, it is because you're talking about me a lot, so it's still about me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wasn't sure when you say your coffee was kicking in that you have to take a shit or that you're up.
It's probably both. You know, but I'm a 50-year-old Italian. I always have to take a shit.
Hold on a second. I think the little motherfuckers are playing with my. Oh, okay. Hold on. Spray bottle.
They unplugged you. That's what they did. They unplugged your sound.
Here, kitty.
Oh, yeah. Keep them off the music gear.
That's right. That's right. Keep them away.
That being said, are you spraying your computer down with water to keep the cats off of it?
Fortunately, it's just the wires. As long as there's no any problem with the wires, it'll be okay.
Right.
Okay, you little fucker, you keep away from my stuff. I never speak to them that way. It's abusive and it hurts their feelings.
Do they curl up with you at night?
They do. They curl up with me at night. If I sit on the couch, they come and hang out with me. They want to be where I am, but even if that means playing, like I wake up, they're in the room playing, they'll play, and I go downstairs, they come downstairs and they play. They're
right.
It's great. It's great to have them around.
They need an audience. They want a little audience.
They do, and they want mama around. I'm kind of their mama.
I saw the other day they were doing this on your shoulder. You took a video, I think, right?
Yeah. No, they're just so sweet. They're
For
awesome.
what it's worth, I'm a guy who watches cute animal videos.
Well,
all fucking day.
That doesn't surprise me. You're a good man, Tom.
Yeah.
Bianchi.
I don't like the abusive ones.
No.
I'm at odds about like the pickle. Do you even know this? Should I tell you?
That sounds bad. You better explain it because that sounds really bad.
So, if you put a pickle or a zucchini like behind a cat while it's eating or something, the second that cat sees the thing, it's going to jump like 20 feet. Freaks him out.
Thinks it's a snake.
It probably is something in the wild where they think it's like, their instinct kicks in. It's like, this thing is stalking me and about to kill me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I totally shouldn't want to do that.
Well, that's... I know you're going to do it once. That's an evil laugh right there.
Do pickle spears work as well?
I would imagine.
I might have to tape some together. Tape 4 of them together so it looks like a pickle. This is great. You got to see them. Look what they're doing right now.
Now, I'm imagining you bought the tower, right? You bought the tower.
Yes, I did.
You didn't just have it, right?
Hey. That did not just happen. Yeah. This was yesterday. They first got up there. They've had this thing for a week. They first got up here yesterday. And this is them just enjoying the shit out of each other.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's great. And there's 2 of them, which means I can go out without feeling guilty because they will take care of themselves. They will take care of each other. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh! One of them could go over. That's bad.
Wipeout? You got a little wipeout going on?
So you can't see this, but my guitar sits on a stand, and I have a staircase over here. I have a staircase over there.
On your left. I've been in your place. Yep.
It's exposed. So the cats play up there at the top of the stairs, on the other side of the banister, the little spindles, and at one point, one of them fell, and we're talking, it's 10 feet up, and I ran and caught the cat before the cat could smash on the ground, right?
Really?
And had the cat actually smashed, they would have hit my guitar. It would, right? Which I'm not worried about the guitar. I'm worried about it's a chunk of stuff there. I was afraid that they would hurt themselves. Last night I hear. And I come downstairs and one of the cats is going. I think I'm supposed to cover it up, but they're always supposed to land on their feet, right? Cats are supposed to land on their feet or a martin.
I think there's enough videos out there of cats falling from really high places and shaking it off. Where, you know, we'd see a lot more videos of cats and just letting stay in there. Fluffy?
We'd see a lot more videos where they cut it right. The cat falls out of frame and they keep it that way.
Yeah. And that's where Fluffy met his maker.
That's where cat fell out of like a 9-story building and landed on its feet.
Yeah, cats are fucked up creatures, man. They're like aliens.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Anyway.
Well, I tell you what, man. Now that I know you like the bike thing, I'm often up the later hours. At the beginning of COVID, we got together and went for a walk. I would love to do a late night social distance bike ride.
Oh, absolutely. That would be awesome.
Fucking do it, man.
Totally. Absolutely. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Anytime. I have a lot of time, so by all means.
Yeah, me too.
To me. This is great, man. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, I always, it's funny. People are like, how long? And I'm like, well, an hour.
It's been now almost 3. That's cool.
But this is, cool. All right, I tell you what, Art. I'm going to take you off the camera, and I'm going to say a quick goodnight for anybody who's actually watching, but stay right there, and we'll just say a quick goodnight, you and me.
Sounds good.
Sounds good? All right.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, Eric Schwartz.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for hanging, for listening, and stay sane, stay hydrated, and stay social in any way that you can.
Instead of doing the rabbit hole of terrible Facebook videos, just go to ericschwartz.com because there's so much there. I say it all the time. Now there's going to be cats are going to be in his new videos. I'm telling you, it's going to be fucking amazing.
Awesome. Bring it.
Eric, I'll be right back.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our show. My name's Tom Bianchi. That was Eric Schwartz. Next week, I have JJ Gonson, the owner and proprietor of the club Once in Somerville, and also Cuisine in Locale, and one of the most rock star human beings you will ever meet. It's funny, like JJ is responsible for Once, and she's responsible for Cuisine in Locale, and she also used to take pictures of Kurt Cobain and shit from the late 80s and 90s. Yeah, she's an amazing human being. I have Randy Millman the week after that, and I have Brian O'Donovan the week after that. These guests are starting to pile up and starting to be awesome. So they've been awesome since the beginning, and it's only getting better. And I actually am kind of getting more used to doing this kind of stuff. So please tune in. Thank you so much for being there tonight to hear this conversation. I'm glad Eric got a chance to play some songs. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to hit the finish button. And I always want to go like, hey, and then I hit the finish button. And then he asks me like another stupid question. And then I have to like shift my eyes and look, which is really annoying because I'm into the production value of this. So I'm going to try to do, hey, do the jump freeze. And then with my peripheral vision, I'm going to try to shut it off. Okay. See you later. Have a great night.